Yes, people, what is happening, and welcome back to the Premier League show on AN Sports. We've got the Gameweek 11 review show. It's going to be a very interesting one for sure. Interesting results on the weekend, some cracker games, some shameless moments. I see Mr. Shameless is back in the bottom right, as always. King is back on the channel. Subscribe to King's channel. The link will be in the description of the video. Prophet's links will also be in the description of the video. But welcome back, Prophet. And I gotta welcome my guy Josh back after 2 shows marked absent, but he's marked present today.
Hey, come on.
Welcome back, bro. And hope you're feeling better as always, man.
Well, not in terms of the football, but in terms of the illness I had. Yeah, it's going great. So thank you for that.
Good to hear, man. And always glad to see you feel better. Big up AJ. Big up to every
disappointing result, AJ.
A disappointing result for Arsenal, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Prophet and King. Prophet, welcome back, bro. Hope you're well. And the King is back after the last show. He requested last minute to be on the show. Wasn't supposed to be, but he's here. And he'll be here for the NBA show after this, so people should tune into that. But how are you guys doing, King and Prophet?
Well, from a health perspective, I'm doing fine, bro. But when it comes to football, I'm not doing too great.
Is that where we start?
If that's where we're leading to, then yeah, we'll start there.
Yeah. Let's start. I'm doing good. I had a good weekend. Obviously, every rival dropped points except for City.
Big up King Khan, probably, bro.
Oh, big up. I do have a question to Liverpool, Prophet, though. What do you think went wrong in that game against City? Because obviously, it wasn't just a loss; it was a beatdown.
It was.
It was a drubbing. So, what do you think went wrong?
I think the manager approached the game completely wrong. If I'm honest, the team was the same as the one against Madrid, the one that beat Madrid. So when I looked at the team selection, when I looked at the starting 11, I was pretty confident. We can beat Madrid with that team. We can take City on as well. But I think the manager set the team up wrong tactically. I think you can see he was trying to sit deep. He was trying to play on the counter, let City have the ball, do what he did against Real Madrid. Didn't work out though. Didn't work out because City were all over us like a lass. Honestly, everyone's going to complain about the ruled out goal. That whether it should have stood, whatever. I don't do none of this blaming the ref stuff because I look at it like we lost because we were crap. We lost because City absolutely took us to the school. So the way I look at it, if you're going to blame that offside goal, well, not even offside goal, that disallowed goal, sorry, it's just a buyout. It's a buyout to make an excuse. And I see a lot of fans doing it, and it's really getting under my skin. I can't lie. It's just making excuses, not wanting to own up to the performance that was on the pitch. I think we needed a little bit of a humbling, to be fair, because I saw how some of our fans started acting after we beat them.
How many though?
After Arsenal dropped points on a Saturday, and yeah, we were moving way too arrogant. Some of us, acting like we were just going to rock up to City. We were going to be fired up, etc. City are also in the title race. Did people think they were not going to be fired up for the game as well? But yeah, we didn't show up at all. City showed up, and the right team won. I got to say though, Doku, yes, he was absolutely
amazing. That was a tough performance by Doku.
He took Konate to the cleaners. Konate had no idea what to do with him. Absolutely, he had no idea. The whole defense was just every time Doku went forward, the defense was petrified. But yeah, City 3-0. What can you say other than we deserve nothing from the game?
Josh, since this is your first show, you want to talk about the game?
Yeah, of course. I think when King asked Prophet what went wrong with Liverpool, I think the better question was what went right. Because I felt everything that could have gone wrong for Liverpool did. It should have been 4-0. If you remember, we didn't even touch on the Haaland penalty miss. Verts got bullied out there. I mean, Van Dijk's equaliser. I mean, harsh maybe, but at the end of the day, who was it? Robertson. He was offside. By the laws of the game, he did interfere with play, although it was very harsh. At the end of the day, I predicted City to win the league before the start of the season, and that's why. Why people wrote them off, I have no idea. At the end of the day, you write Manchester City off, you write Pep Guardiola off at your own peril. You honestly do. Like, I don't understand the collective brain thought that City just weren't going to turn up this season because of a one poor season. Do you really think Pep would have let last season happen again? Absolutely
No
not.
chance.
Last season was a dent to his pride, a dent to his ego, a dent to his masculinity, a dent to everything. He's not going to allow that to happen again. He's coming back with a vengeance. And I believe he will come back with a vengeance. And it wouldn't surprise me, not only if they won the league, but if they did successfully in Europe as well.
Exactly.
Whether winning the Champions League or getting right down to the latter stages. At the end of the day, Liverpool were completely outclassed on the night. And their mini revival, well and truly put off now. I understand Prophet talking about a humbling moment, but I feel the last month has been quite humbling from a Liverpool perspective. I don't want to use the word humbling because at the end of the day, you're the champions. You're going to be arrogant, and that's obviously fine. But I mean, it was just a continuation from where you left off at the start of the month. Aston Villa played into your hands. Real Madrid was shocking. You come up against a decent team that will exploit you for the flaws that Arne Slot has laid out time and time again this season, and you're going to get exposed.
They conceded a lot of points already. This should have been Arsenal's title. It's true.
100%. I think, again, Arsenal got to look back to that game at Anfield, be a bit more braver in that game. We would have lost the game, I'll be totally honest. Because we weren't brave in the game in that first half. And Arsenal, had they actually played at Anfield, they would have won the game. We only won because of a wonder goal from Szoboszlai from a free kick. But Arsenal got to look at that and think, you know what? If we'd won that, had we been braver at home to City, we could have been a couple more points clear at the top.
I think City is the biggest one. I've said it time and time again, starting with Reno in midfield. But listen, this is the Man City-Liverpool segment. At the end of the day, I just want to go back to Manchester City. What an absolutely insane performance. Reminded me of their victory against United back in early September. Absolutely ruthless by the same scoreline. I mean, they're just a brilliant team. A lot of people are concerned that Haaland is scoring too many goals for them.
Well,
At the end of the day, it's Erling Haaland. We know how sustainable that is. And we've only just entered November. So the goals are going to even itself out. Esteve with 2 own goals isn't going to be their second highest goal scorer for long. We saw how Foden was moving in midweek against Dortmund. They're really starting to turn it on now. And like I said, we've seen this how many times with City? After a poor start, they really start getting the ball rolling and they keep catching up. And they love playing the hunter. And eventually, they hunt their prey every single time. Manchester City have never lost a title race when it gets down to the business end of the season since their takeover.
I think what's going to help City this year, particularly, is their adaptability. They're not just one-dimensional no more. They don't rely solely on playing tiki-taka football. No, you see, they can play defensive. They're happy to give other teams the ball, even at home. So they're adaptable now, and I think that is going to work to their favour later on as well in the season as it goes on.
And fair enough, Prophet, and fair enough, King Khan. Obviously, if Haaland gets injured, that will be a huge blow. But they've got Marmoush coming. Yeah, he hasn't got the conversion rate of Haaland. He's not as good as a goal scorer as Haaland is. No one is, arguably. But at the end of the day, he's still a very good replacement. Are we forgetting that City have literally won the league with no strikers? Unless you count Jesus as a striker, but even then he was shoved on the wing sometimes. Guardiola's literally won the league with no strikers before, and now he's got Haaland and Marmoush in his Arsenal. It's looking scary.
I think, again, the quality in the manager showed as well. I think Pep absolutely took Slot to the school, tactically wise. He just absolutely scored him on the pitch and showed the difference in it between both the managers.
You're muted, bro.
I thought I mute button there. In terms of just obviously Man City this whole entire season, what I said at the start of the season was, I don't think City would look as convincing. At the start, they didn't look as convincing. I'll be real with you. They lost back-to-back games against Spurs and Brighton. I thought, all right, same story as last season again. Pep might be done. But then
this
again,
is typical of City.
Typical Man City. You're right on that point. It's typical Man City. Every single time they have a slow start to the season, sluggish start to the season, they always bounce back. And then they hit the ground running. And once that's done, They go on a massive run, and then it's over. And the next thing you know, it's over for everyone else. But
That's it. Happen.
But then again, it's also at the same time, I can agree with this comment as well. A lot of City's goals have come from early on in the season, and as there's no denying that. But then
we are in November. It's going to even out over the course of the season.
It's going to even out, surely. But at the same time, the over dependency of Haaland's goals, it has to be spread around in case Haaland does get injured. Just in case he gets injured, City need to start sharing the ball to Marmoush. Try and give him some goals as well. Let Doku have a new lease of life, like how he played against Liverpool. That was a brilliant performance by Doku. Best performance I've seen Doku ever in a City shirt, in my opinion. That was Doku's best ever game in a City shirt. Who else? You got Cherky.
That Nico Gonzalez looked good as well yesterday.
He was quality. He's not been good. I'll be with you. He's not really had a good start to life at Man City, but he's in recent times he stepped it up. In Rodri's absence, he stepped it up, 100%. So you got to give credit to Pep Guardiola where credit is due. Pep will not let Man City dry out. Yeah, sorry, go on.
But no. So I just wanted to say, I thought Manchester City would win because that game was Guardiola's 1,000, and it would only be fitting if Guardiola won that game. So that's why I thought City would win anyway, which is why I was so pissed off with that late equaliser. But we'll get on to that soon.
This is why. Also, at the same time, it'd be funny if it was against Klopp, wouldn't it? It would be more funny with
I think if Klopp was manager right now, well, things would be a lot different. It'd be a lot different. But as from a Liverpool perspective, other than Szoboszlai was really the only one trying to make something happen yesterday. Everyone else was non-existent. I don't even want to talk about Salah at this point because I sound like a broken record. But again, ghosted the whole game. Did nothing.
Oh, he stank, mate.
Absolutely nothing. I don't want to hear about no title race because Liverpool are not in a title race at the moment. I believe we're 8th in the table at the moment, below Manchester United. So at the moment, we're fighting to stay in the top 10. I think as the season progresses, if we turn it on and we get back to our best, I think we can still finish third. But I think that's the highest we get.
Prophet, could you repeat that again, please?
I think the best, even if we turn it on, Bo, I think the best we can achieve this season is a third place finish. That's if we turn it on, because I think looks like we're going to be fighting for top 4 this season, and with the money we spent, it's not acceptable.
Which club are you below again?
We're below you. That's the worst bit. But you guys dropped points as well this weekend, and
in the worst possible fashion.
But we've lost 5 games this season, the most out of the top 6 so far, and that's more than we lost all of it.
You won more games than us, and you're still below us.
Yeah, it's absolutely mad, But it's going to cause more outrage now with our fans. People are starting to the slot question marks are coming back again. I thought they were done after the Madrid and Villa games, but no, they're back. There's more, questions on some of the players, etc. But yeah, it's just. I thought we turned the corner against Real Madrid. I really did. I thought maybe we get back to our best. Although I didn't think we were going to win this game at all. I said the best we get is a draw because going to City away is never easy. But we got to talk to the cleaners. Yeah, looks like we haven't turned the corner, but it's just the same old.
We all have to learn from Tottenham to go win
Tottenham, yeah.
Or Man United.
I rate Tottenham's ability to go to the Etihad and win 2-0 every season, or to get a win there. I got to rate that because
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Man United as well would go.
Exactly, but even Solskjaer, Man United.
He's never lost a game at the Etihad in his whole entire managerial career. He's never lost a single game at the Etihad.
It's mad.
So yeah, that's mental. But let me get to the comments real quick.
What is going on with these? Because I saw he was on the bench. I thought Slot would have chucked him on because he's notoriously brave with stuff.
It's one of those where people are still saying that Isak's not match fit. He's not fit to play.
Why is he on the bench?
That's the thing there. Why is he on the bench? But yeah, if he's not fit, just don't have him in the squad at all. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird one. It's just the manager's having an absolute nightmare at the moment. Whatever Slot does just doesn't seem to be working. and it's
Out of
genuinely it's a tough time at the moment. Dark.
out of all these games, I only see Man City dropping points against Crystal Palace.
Are
I
they
think
away
they'll
at
win.
Newcastle?
Sorry?
Are they away at Newcastle?
Yeah, that's away at St James's.
But even then, I think City will win away at Newcastle. Newcastle haven't really been good this season.
Yeah.
To be honest. They've
I
not
think
been good.
Newcastle will snatch a point there, but they'll win the rest of their games.
I think Leeds will beat Fulham. They'll beat Sunderland, and Sunderland might not. Sunderland it might be a draw because City.
Oh, don't worry, they won't play as well against City as they did against us. You can bet my life insurance on that.
A question to you guys: are you guys do you guys think Liverpool are out of the title race now as well, as looking at it as rivals?
5 losses is too much for a title race, in my opinion.
I
5
agree.
losses
Yeah.
is way too much. You shouldn't lose if you're in a title race. You can't lose 5 games like that. It's straight off. It's not even. You know what it is, bro? It's not even half the season yet. It's not even half of the season, and you've already lost 5 games. So it just tells you a lot you need to know. You know what
I
I'm trying to
think
say?
we're barely 30% of the season in, and you've lost 5 games. But listen, this is the same thing I always say. At the end of the day, it's only November. You know, Arsenal and City are going to drop points before the turn of the year. If Arne Slot can earn his money and get back the title-winning form of last year, you'll be right in with a shout again. But at the moment, it does look like you're out of it. But like I say, I think it's going to be a bit too early of a judgment so far.
This is a good point. You could have bought Isak earlier.
I don't think we need. I think we should have.
City.
I think you've seen how bad we are defensively this year. I think the Isak money should have been used to buy a centre back because Konate was dreadful last night again. It's a weird one because Konate, he has good games and bad games, but seems like he has more bad games than he does good.
Was it not Konate's fault for the penalty? Because Bradley had Doku covered.
It was,
before Konate came rushing in.
It was a penalty. Do you guys think that was a penalty?
Hey, if that was a penalty, then Yoker is at Newcastle. But
I think it was.
It did look like a dive. To be fair, it did look like Doku had dived, but
only because the knee caught him. That's only why they gave the penalty. But otherwise,
I see people are comparing it to the McAllister challenge a couple of years ago. The Doku challenge on McAllister, I think, was it in Klopp's last season? Yeah.
And the Canada came across as well, but I don't understand why people complain.
But bro, what's really annoying me here is the amount of our fans that are deflecting away from our performance and trying to say, "Oh, if that goal had stood, it would have been a different game. We would have had momentum." People are saying, "Oh, the momentum would have changed," but when we equalised in the Palace game, in the Chelsea game, in the United game, we still went on to lose despite leveling the game. So
yeah.
People expected that it was gonna change against City at the Etihad and we were gonna win because of momentum. Like it's just excuse making.
I know team wins the title from 8th. Facts, right?
Unless you're Manchester City, bro.
Yeah.
Keeping on Chelsea.
I don't know. Chelsea are way too inconsistent.
They're way too inconsistent to be in a title race at the moment. Chelsea.
No,
if the quality showed it, then maybe, but they're too inconsistent. Sorry.
I think Chelsea got a bozo game in them all the time. You know, you can see they can lose to Sunderland at home. I think they're going to have more of them results as well this season. So, not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I predicted Chelsea to be right in the title race come Christmas, and they could still be. Football's a mad game, but I mean, they had, in my opinion, by far the easiest fixture list out of all the quote unquote big 6 clubs to start off the season.
I think,
and they've really ballsed it up. They've really screwed it up.
I think it's because Newcastle rejected Liverpool's bids for Isak in the start. They tried to sign, but they rejected so many of the bids as well. So at the same time, you got to consider that as a factor. The midfield also doesn't look too good to me in opposition into the box too easily. Yeah, that's true. The opposition gets into the box too easily. I think Liverpool are too open. I'm trying to say.
Too open, yeah, that's the thing. But
too much of a high line as well. High line.
It's a weird one, bro, because Slot set the team up to play defensive in the first half. Yet City were still cutting us open easily. So it's an odd one.
But yeah, I can't lie to you. I think City overall they looked amazing. Liverpool, I mean, it's the same performances that you guys have been putting in this past season. You've been getting away with a lot of weak, spineless performances, bro, and you managed to actually win it late on. That Liverpool right now, is not there. The mentality in the players is gone. I think they know that they want the security. That's their aim. That's the goal for Liverpool. They don't need to do anything else now. For Liverpool, there's not really much for them to look forward to right now, to be honest with you. So,
I mean, would you guys back Liverpool to win the Champions League at the moment? Because I wouldn't. I mean, that's probably our best bet going deep in there, but the way things are at the moment, no,
these
I
are
don't
my
think
top
so.
4 teams to win it. These are my top 4 teams to win the Champions League. I've got Bayern at the moment. Bayern Munich are in the best form of right now. You could ask for. They've won every single game apart from the last. They dropped points to Union Berlin, but they got a last-minute equalizer. Bayern are 1. PSG is another one. I think PSG could go back to back. There's a good chance they got squad depth, good talent all across the pitch. Real Madrid, we can never write Real Madrid off in the Champions League. We can never do. As much as Real Madrid haven't been amazing in the last 2 years in the Champions League, you can never write Real Madrid off. It is Real Madrid at the end of the day. They are the kings of Europe. They are the kings of football.
No, we understand that.
And Barcelona. I think Hansi Flick will eventually turn it around in terms of like overall performances and how they play, because Barca have looked spineless at the start of the year. They lost to teams they dropped points to teams that shouldn't have really dropped points to.
Sorry, Akovin, did you say Manchester City as well?
No. I said Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, and
Barcelona.
But Man City could be in the mix as well if they continue playing the way they do. But at the same time, I don't know, because I've seen this story with it many times. If you can contain Haaland, if a team like Bayern can contain Haaland, they'll struggle to break down Bayern, because defensively they look good. They're good all across the pitch. PSG are a good side. It'll be hard to beat PSG. At the same time, I don't know. I just think PSG and Bayern are the top 2 teams to win.
Definitely. I think even Barcelona, they do tend to bottle it a lot now in the Champions League. It's been a while since they won it as well, hasn't it?
They could have made the final last year. They didn't.
Could have,
they didn't,
yeah.
They didn't lose to Inter in the last minute the way they did. PSG rocking up. Oh, hold on. I think I got the wrong coming up. So you guys think Arsenal, City win the league? I'm gonna say Arsenal.
I'm torn on it. I know Josh has said City will win it, but I'm torn on it. Part of me still feels, despite Arsenal dropping points, they still do look the best team in the league at the moment. But also, like Josh has said before, it's still only November. It's too early. It's tough. I think the next couple of games could be telling. I think Arsenal play Spurs and Chelsea next. City play Newcastle, and is it Sunderland or something like that? So yeah, I think the next 3 games after the break will tell us how serious we need to take Arsenal.
Yeah, fair enough. 100% agree. On the topic of Liverpool in Europe, at the end of the day, never count Liverpool out of Europe. You ask me, can Liverpool get themselves back in the title race? Of course they can. Can Liverpool win the FA Cup? Of course they can. Can Liverpool win the Champions League? Of course they can. But will they? I mean, listen, November and May, teams often look very, very different. So, I mean, we'll never know what's going to happen there.
I'd much rather Arsenal win than City.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to have a change. I know people are going to say Arsenal fans will be unbearable and that, but it's nice to have a change, isn't it?
It's the Twitter fans will be unbearable. It's just words on the screen, like I always say. If you're so annoyed by these young fans,
it's like you can't be annoyed by it, because I mean, Liverpool fans were unbearable last season when we won it. So look, you have the right to be unbearable if your team have won the league.
100%. They have every single right to.
This is what I don't get with modern football discourse. Why are people so villainous towards fan bases that get a bit arrogant when they've won something? It does not make sense to me. You only have one life. Of course, if your team wins a major honour, you're going to celebrate the fuck out of it.
Never know when's the last time you celebrated.
It's like, these fans are unbearable online. Fucking step outside and touch grass. Actually speak to one of these fans in real life, because they're not going to be like Rory talks bollocks on Twitter or whatever it is. You know, like, come on, just get a social life. Don't make up judgments based on social media.
I think, look, I know people say City with the charges and that 115 and all that. To me, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm not really bothered about the charges. I look at it like, you got to win somehow. City, well, you know.
The charges just made to threaten the English football.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to win somehow at the end of the day. I mean, people just use it as an excuse to discredit everything that they've done. Like,
like put it this way, 115 charges isn't the reason why Slot put the team out there. Like yesterday, you know what I mean? 115 charges isn't the reason why Arsenal bottled an 8-point lead in 2023. You can't be using that as an excuse to, bitch and complain when your club falls short. It just lacks of a lack of accountability, and it's a really easy get out of jail card.
It is indeed, yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, that separates the winners from the losers. Yeah, it's unethical, but every team's owned by a billionaire. Since when was money ethical? You know what I mean? Are you not going to hold your club to the same standard?
I mean, at the end of the day, despite what City, they've got high standards for their club. Their fans have got a high standard. They want to win. And would you rather have owners like that, or would you rather have owners like Liverpool have pre this window who don't spend money? It's for me. I know which one I'd pick.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. It's a lack of ambition from all these other owners. Manchester City, I mean, they're the dominant team in England now, and for good reason. They're the only club in the country, in my opinion, with the standards required to constantly stay at the top of the game. Your likes of FSG, the Glazers, the Cronkies, they don't have the standards, plain and simple. And that is why Arsenal are on a 22-year trophy drought. That's why Liverpool, until this season, kept money in their back pocket and their owner's pocket. That's why Manchester United are absolutely cooked at the minute. Obviously, Manchester United are in a decent run of form now, but I mean, in terms of how the club is overall and has been for the last few years.
There's only two clubs I look at in world football that have a high standard for their clubs, and I think that's Real Madrid and Manchester City.
Indeed.
You can kind of spot on here. The only way you can compete with Man City is if you demand more from your own football club.
Exactly.
You need to be more, you as a fan base need to be more demanding of your own football club to then compete with Manchester City. That's why they're winning league titles and your club's not. I'm talking about all our clubs here, because Liverpool have won. Yes, Liverpool won the league, but last year was Man City's off year.
Exactly.
Last year was Man City's off year, and to get the points that you guys got last year, City would have blitzed the league by a distance if they were on form.
Yeah, but to counteract that, Liverpool wouldn't have dropped off after winning the league
easily by a distance. Liverpool tailed off at the end of the season, but only because they already won the league by a lot.
Exactly.
I don't think I don't think we were particularly great last season. I'll be honest. We dropped points in games where Prime City would have absolutely lapped it up and overtaken us. I think a lot of the past clock teams would have beaten that Liverpool team last season pretty easily. So while it was great, we won the league. Yeah, it was a good achievement. Slot first season, and that we did benefit from Arsenal not being at it, City not being at it, and other teams not being at it too.
No, but as well at the same time, like I'm gonna say again, Arsenal's owners, our owners are not the most serious out there in terms of win. They're more about European football, Champions League football. They only care about that. They never care about actual success on the pitch.
It's funny you say that. I think there was a brief come out during the summer. I think the Cronkies are actually getting concerned because Arsenal are the only franchise they own that hasn't won a major honour in the last 5 years.
Denver,
which is partly why they were so lenient on Berta spending that much money in the summer.
Even the hockey team won as well, I think. So
exactly. So the Cronkies are starting to spot Arteta out.
I think what it is with the Glazers and I think Chelsea's owners as well. Yeah, they're bad owners, etc. But you do spend money. Chelsea do spend money. They spend a lot of money, actually. They do.
Yeah.
United
we don't know about my owners yet. My owners are like on a trial. They're on the trial period of whether they are like your owners or not. Because you don't know. You don't know yet. Yeah. They've not been there long enough for you to say whether they've made mistakes in terms of managerial appointments and in terms of some of the money we spent. But I don't know if they're as bad as the Arsenal United owners, because I know for a fact that Arsenal United owners don't care about winning, because if they did, Arteta would be gone, Amorim wouldn't be here. They don't care. Liverpool owners are like 50-50. Sometimes they care, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
One summer you spend 500 mil, another summer after you win a Premier League you spend nothing, next to nothing. So
King Khan, I think if Klopp got the money that Slot did,
I love the red talk.
we might have succeeded in actually winning the quadruple.
Yeah, if Liverpool spent the money that they did this summer earlier with under Klopp, especially the year that you won the Champions League and then the league after that, you would have been able to compete with City a lot more. But that's been your issue, is that you spend money once and then you just decide, oh, we're gonna pretend we're broke for years, then spend money all in one go, then pretend you're gonna be broke for years. Whereas Man City are consistent spending. Like last January, Man City were before January last season, Man City weren't even in the hunt for top four. A lot of people, the team was so bad that they decided in January, listen, we're gonna have to sign a couple players earlier than we wanted to in order for us to consolidate top four and at least stay in Europe or Champions League. So their owners are willing to spend the money, whether it be summer, January, whenever, in order to help their team either win titles, get top four, or do what they need to do for that season. And you can see that United and Arsenal owners aren't like that. Liverpool owners are a bit fair weather. They're better. Your FSG are better than your previous ones when it was like Gillette and them man, because them man tried to destroy your whole club. So them man were like the Glazers before. So at least you have a bit more. And my owners, I don't know. Clear Lake is one of those ones where I'm waiting to see if they care about winning or not. They've been ruthless with managers so far, but who knows?
I actually think that the Chelsea owners are pretty ambitious. To be fair, I think I look at it, they do spend money, so it's not a matter of are they cheap, etc. I think
it's how you spend the money, though. That's the
how
thing.
you spend it, yeah. And I think the structure just isn't in place. I think if you had Liverpool structure under Klopp, and I think if you had Chelsea's owners, you can do some serious damage with that type of structure. I just think Chelsea haven't got the right football structure in place, or they didn't have the right football structure in place to really compete at the highest level. But it could change.
Yeah, our structure is an under 25 team, so we're trying to play kid ball against men. That's what we do. So we're just trying to get younger and younger. And then if you look at Strasbourg, they're like an under 21 team.
500 million in the last 5 years in academy sales as well from Man City. That's crazy. That's crazy profit right there. Given I don't know what you, but whenever I saw,
on this comment, King Khan, apparently Klopp actually did have an interview with United before he joined Liverpool. Apparently it was Klopp's wife who didn't take to United, and she convinced him to join Liverpool. So I think if it wasn't for Klopp's wife, United might or could have actually succeeded in having Klopp as their next manager. And obviously, look, thank God that didn't happen. He came to Liverpool, etc. But United could have had him if it wasn't for Ula Klopp. So big up Klopp's wife.
King's back. But as he said here, Clear Lake is spending on young players to suffer profit.
Yeah. A lot of the young players we've signed is profit making. Like the thing about Clear Lake is they've made some good signage, your Estavals, etc. But they're few and far between. Whereas a lot of them have just been profit making scheme. Like Strasbourg, for example, is a profit making scheme. Like you get young players in, they play well in the French league. Then you sell them for big money, like Backwater, Forest, and stuff like that. So for me, Clear Lake is kind of like I need to see them over like a 5 to 10 year period to see what they're on. Are they about winning or are they about profit? And for now, I don't know yet. For the most part, they look to be about profit rather than winning, and that's what most of our owners are on at this current stage, unfortunately. But it's the difference. Is the difference in mentality between an American owner and an Arab owner. An Arab owner just wants to win because he doesn't care about money. He's got money on abundance. He's you don't care about. He's just trying to flex against other owners. Like they want to win everything. They want to be the best of the best. You look at PSG. You look at Man City. If Newcastle were able to spend with the way they wanted to, I'm gonna lie, it'll be long for our clubs out here. It will just be City and Newcastle for the rest of the time, just because Newcastle are hamstrung by FFP and the rules that are in place. That's the only reason they don't spend like they do. But if you look at the team they've made so far, and I wholeheartedly believe that they'll get rid of Eddie Howe because of the way he's capitulating this season as well. So they're gonna they're gonna make changes to their club very, very soon, I believe as well, because they're ambitious and they want to be successful because that's their mentality rather than these American owners who have clubs outside of clubs in America, which they care more about. They'd rather use our clubs as leverage for them to build new stadiums in LA and wherever they're situated in to make their American franchises better.
LA.
Like the Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, LA Dodgers, etc., etc.
Yeah. I want to Klopp and Pep, but when you went with Moyes, we could have got Mourinho that summer as well, bro.
Wasn't Mourinho in tears because you snubbed him for David Moyes? I think a few valid sources have actually said that.
I think Mourinho was just he was a bit annoyed. Yeah, 100%.
No, he was so dead certain on joining United that summer, and then he had to go to Chelsea instead because he chose Moyes. I think.
Abramovich kept him.
There was a period where we had Klopp, Pep, Mourinho, Conte all in the same league together, which, looking back on it, feels like just yesterday. To be fair, I think that was. I
ain't gonna lie, you remind me of the LA guy who lived there.
I've never lived in LA in my life. I've been there once. LA's not that nice. I'm gonna lie to you. LA's not that nice. Los Angeles, the city's not that nice.
I agree. It's overrated. 100%. I've been to Los Angeles.
They don't launder. They don't use it to launder money. They use it for sports washing. That's another whole other topic. But they don't need to launder money. They don't need to. They're getting it legal from the oil. The oil money is long, and it's gonna be for a long time.
If he wasn't there, or different Man City was rising.
Well,
it wasn't at the start. It wasn't. Yeah.
There was, but there wasn't enough media. What do you call it? Media attention about it.
Wasn't it? No. They tried to sign Kaka for 100 million in the January of 2009, and then the football governing bodies were like, "Nah, we need to stop this." Like, I mean, it's already happened with Chelsea, and now City are rushing right up the league as well. They needed to do something about it.
Yeah. They needed to protect the old school red cartel clubs because obviously their owners don't care. So, yeah.
Another topic of discussion.
No, but it makes sense because obviously you want the biggest clubs to still be up there. But the thing is, the only issue I have, I think the worst owners are the Glazers because they bought the club on debt and they're taking money out the club. I think they're the worst of all our owners because they fully have done it in a way which has been to detriment of Man United. And you've seen the fall of grace from being the dominant force in the early 2000s to what they are now. So, but yeah, that could be a whole video though on ownership and the differences and everything.
I think it used to be pretty close out of them. I think out of the Glazers and the Cronkies, it used to be pretty close and who was worse. But I think since Arsenal started challenging for the league, people are kind of eased off on the Cronkies a bit.
Yeah, I think Josh cares a little. I think was it Josh Concrete? I think he cares a little. I think the younger one. Yeah. There's no Glazer that cares. None of them care. The Glazers, they just look at United as a money fund to build them a new stadium.
Yep, literally that, bro. Literally that. We spent over 1 billion in debt. Just interest me. The debt hasn't even gone down. Yeah, it hasn't, bro. It hasn't gone down, and that's the sad part because we have so much debt. Man has so much debt. We're like £1 billion in debt. All right, and it's not getting any better because they can't pay their debts. They can't pay their debts off. The money that they make from the club goes straight into their pockets rather than actually having to pay their debts back. You know what I'm trying to say?
If you want a little microcosm of the Glazers' ownership of Manchester United, go back to the summer of 2009. Go back to the summer of 2009. You replace Cristiano Ronaldo with Gabriel Obertan. Carlos Tevez with a washed Michael Owen.
Yeah. It's been struggles for United and Alex Ferguson. So Alex Ferguson kind of covered the tracks a little bit for a piece, but as soon as he left, the cover was blown. It's similar to Arsenal with Wenger. He kind of covered some of the dodgy stuff that the Cronkies did during the during that Emirates period, because I think they used this stadium as an excuse. I'll be honest with you. I feel like Arsenal could have still been successful in the early Emirates eras if
I
they
think
had ambitious owners.
I think some of the Arsenal fans were really, really harsh on Wenger. I think looking back on it, they'll see that he did cover over the cracks a bit.
Well, no, King's 100% right. I mean, I think it's less so covering. I think Fergie covered for the Glazers next to no end. That's why when King Khan said Klopp wouldn't have been successful at United, I'm less agreeing to that, so to speak, because you look what Fergie did with the Glazer ownership. You see what Klopp could do with Liverpool with limited funds. No reason why I couldn't have done the same at United. But with Wenger, I feel it was obvious that the Kroenkes were a problem. You only had to look at the summer transfer windows back in like 2013 and whatnot. Wenger took the flak for what the owners were doing. It was no secret the owners were shit, but Wenger was the one that got the brunt of it because we were on a 9-year trophy drought at the time. And we looked like we were never signing anyone. Selling our best players to a title rival, well, not title rivals, but teams better equipped to go on to win the league.
This is why I'm against the new stadium. This is why I'm against the new stadium, because of this alone. Because of this alone. We got Scholes front like a third league side. Yep. We did.
I know that was a good thing though. He actually helped you win a league. I would also say with the Arsenal situation is out of since 04, so 21 years of them not winning a title, 14 of those years they haven't won a trophy. That is disgraceful for a club of Arsenal side. They're meant to be the third biggest club in England, and 14 years out of 21 without a title, without any trophy.
I think it's more than that.
No, because not a drought of 9 and then this drought of 5. So 14 years, 14 seasons out of the 21 seasons since you won the league title, you ended with no trophy at all. That's crazy.
I think Wenger didn't Wenger always used to pull them the FA Cup wins out of nowhere.
Yeah, but there was a period where he didn't win anything.
FA Cup win when Arsenal were doing crap and everything will be all right.
Yeah, but those
Standard,
it's a shame because growing up it was always Arsenal United.
That's true.
In my time, it was Arsenal United.
Even
I feel that's why there's so much of the discourse and so much of this nostalgia is based around that time. I mean, I feel that's why the Man United Chelsea title races aren't as glorified, because Arsenal and United were seen as more established traditional clubs.
Yeah.
Whereas with Chelsea, there was the whole Abramovich coming in, and then they started winning trophies, which may or may not be fair. But I feel a lot of it is nostalgia based because two of those clubs are historical in that sense. I think it was best described when Gary Neville was talking about the Super League. Like, he was particularly disappointed in Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester United because traditionally they're the three biggest in the country. So not anymore. I mean, for the last 20 years, Chelsea have cucked us, and we're still signing their fucking scraps and helping with their PFP. It's why are you doing that? But anyway, that's another topic that I don't want to get into.
Yeah, I think in terms of trophies, I think Arsenal are relatively close to being going from third to fifth if City and Chelsea continue to win trophies, especially City. City will, I think, claim that third spot in terms of total trophies very soon. In the way the trajectory is going, especially under Pep.
If you don't count Community Shields, they're one major trophy behind us. Their takeover happened less than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And Monkey, Pep is by far the second best manager in Premier League.
Pep is definitely. You'd probably put Mourinho over Wenger as well. To be fair.
Because Mourinho did back to back. He came in and said he was a special one. Did back to back.
I always try and put Klopp in this debate too, but I don't know. I think Wenger and Klopp's a bit more of a
it's Wenger over Klopp just because Klopp never only won one, and that was down to the ownership rather than him.
If I had to say between Wenger or Pep, Wenger or Mourinho, who built the better team, this is just who built the better team, not who did the better job. I think building a better team by name, I'm probably gonna say Arsene Wenger did that, because You had Thierry Henry,
Oh.
you had Dennis Bergkamp, you had one of the greatest Premier League sides of all time, the Invincibles.
Well, I think the way this debate goes, you've just got to look at the amount of Premier League titles won, the amount of domestic trophies won.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously Ferguson's the best. I mean, he's clear outright. You double Pep's title count, Sir Alex has still got more. Although that probably won't be the case for long.
Yeah.
Pep's not going to overtake him, but he's going to catch up to 10, definitely.
Did Wenger win 3 or 2? I can't remember. I know he won
98,
04.
98, 02, and 04.
Yeah, 3. Okay, so yeah, they're both on 3.
Yeah,
It just depends on when it comes to Wenger, Mourinho. It just depends on who you like better. It's a preference thing for me because Wenger brought in things to Premier League football in terms of conditioning and stuff like that. That kind of stuff. He changed the game in that style. But Mourinho was more of box office in the terms of he came in and he said what he was going to do, and he beat 2 of the best in terms of Wenger and Ferguson. And Ferguson had to change his whole kind of philosophy in order to compete with him.
Introduced the 4-3-3 to England as well.
Yeah. The lone striker Drogba. Yeah, but yeah, it depends on Wenger. Mourinho is close. Yeah, Pep is second. And
I
then,
think there's no debate really. Mourinho is a better manager. I mean, just look at their contrasting European pedigree. I think Wenger is the only manager in football history to lose 3 different European competitions at the final stage: Champions League, UEFA Cup in 2000, and when he was at Monaco, I think he lost the Winners' Cup final.
Does anyone think
but Jose did this stuff outside of England, though?
Yeah, exactly.
Does anyone think that you can make an argument for Mourinho being better than Pep as well?
Yeah.
In terms of the only thing Mourinho's better than Pep is he did it at worse clubs like at Porto and in that Inter side that he won the treble with. But in terms of if you actually look at the details of money and everything else, it's pretty much the same. They all both spent money. They both had periods of time where they were at super clubs in terms of financially. I mean, if you look at the time Barcelona, Madrid times period where they were in the same league, Pep more than often had the better of Mourinho, I would say. But on a bias level, if you were on a bias level, I always put Jose above Pep overall. But if you're down to football, Pep has done too much. But the only gripe against Pep's name is he just did it in super clubs. He never did it he never went on a side quest. Mourinho went on side quests. He started in Portugal. He's been to Turkey. He went to Tottenham. I mean, he went to Tottenham. So he's about his side quests. He does things a bit differently. But Pep has just been elite from the start. Barca, Bayern, City, elite.
100%.
I think the fact that he never won the Champions League with Bayern is a big stain as well.
Yeah, that because they won it, but the year before he came.
Exactly, Jupp Heynckes, wasn't it?
I agree.
Knocked us out on away goals for bastards.
Yeah.
But anyways, Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. Arsenal got box rather than defending the edge of the box, and you can see that the goal that
at last Arsenal have dropped points.
Yeah, cheers, Prophet. If you want, you probably want me to start. I mean, I think it's a really difficult one. First of all, Sunderland deserved at least a point, I feel. First half, I thought we were poor. I thought we were very poor. At the time, I thought we didn't play too bad, but looking back on it, we didn't play too well at all. Sunderland deservedly went 1-0 up. There's a lot of talk about a potential penalty for an elbow. You never really see those given, especially in that circumstance. Second half, I thought we played really well. We were imposing, we were dominant, we were quick, we were precise in our passing play. Declan Rice winning the ball back brilliantly. Marino feeding Saka, brilliant finish on his weaker right foot. So it was 1-1. I think Zubimendi had a good few chances. Put one just wide of the post, hit the bar. And then Trossard with an absolutely wonderful goal. And I don't know if Akovin is here at the minute, but it reminds me of Arshavin's goal at Old Trafford in August 2009. The way it just hit the roof of the net.
I
It
remember
was
that.
it was so it was such a great finish.
But you know what it is? I was 10 and I was like, that game was so late. I just couldn't but I saw the highlights and like, what a goal by Arshavin, man.
Yeah, well, we
Like,
still bloody lost, but
the way he stuck at top bins as well. And
yeah.
also, do you remember that Arshavin 4-4 at Anfield? That was one of the best games
I was only 3 years old at the time, but I've seen it since. Yeah.
It's one of the best games I've ever seen in my lifetime for sure. Chelsea also was in this massive club before Mourinho. They were, but not a big name. They were a very well known club. She was shooting the UCL.
They were in and around. I think they won the FA Cup in 2000.
Yeah, we were a small club before Roman though, compared to Arsenal's, United, and that.
I think Chelsea sold for £1 back in 1985, which goes to show where they were at that stage. But anyway, on the Sunderland game, we really should have held on. I don't know why Arteta decided to go so defensive. I can understand not making any attacking changes, considering our attack consisted of 3 teenagers on the bench, one of them being not old enough to have a provisional license in this country, or to consent. So, but Raya, if you stayed on your line, man, we'd be 6 points clear. If you stayed on your line, we'd be 6 points clear. Like I said, Sunderland deserved at least a point. But I thought in the second half we played really well. I thought we did play really well, and it was gut-wrenching not to win the game. It's funny, actually, because when Man United dropped points to Spurs earlier in the day, I bantered Akerin and Agassia. And the one time I do that, we fuck up in the last minute, don't we?
Shall I play the video clip?
Yeah, go ahead. Features a very special Jacques Fulsham.
No, I'm joking. I'm not going to do that. No.
Okay, fair enough. When you messaged Whoopsies after we fucking conceded that, I was fucking raging. But no. I was like, bloody hell, man. He's got me well and truly by the bollocks. And then Marino, if that was Gyökeres, if we had Gyökeres available, I think that hits the back of the net in the 96th, 97th minute. But as it stands, or as it stood, 2-2, it is dropped points. I don't care how good Sunderland are from a team that has ambitions to win the title. You need to beat these. You need to get all 6 points from these newly promoted sides. I don't care how well they're playing, and we should have held on. Yet again, I understand we didn't have many attacking options off the bench, but at least put Wanyeri on. Give us a bit of extra fresh legs, because Saka and Trossard were absolutely knackered by the end of that. And they couldn't close down. Declan Rice was absolutely knackered. He lost Daniel Ballard for the first goal, but he was absolutely brilliant in that second half.
What a block with Ballard. What a block after them by Ballard.
I mean, Daniel Ballard, he took his rejection from Hale then seriously, very seriously. Goal, assist, goal-saving tackle. Strangled Eze as well. And Craig Pawson decided to penalise us for that. Okay, we have to adapt, as Mourinho once said. On the first goal as well, that was never a free kick. Zubimendi won the ball and he got booked for that as well. But what I will say is 65 yards away from our goal, we have to defend that a hell of a lot better. That free kick should be inconsequential for a team that is apparently as defensively solid as ours is. You can't be conceding from that sort of situation. So overall, really disheartening. Should be 6 points clear. Should have been 9 points clear by the end of Saturday. Unfortunately, we weren't. But that's Premier League at the end of the day. You're not on it for 98 minutes, and you're going to drop points. Simple.
I agree.
Very, very simple.
I think for me the main takeaway, the main thing that surprised me was the fact that Arsenal conceded 2 goals, because I never expected that to happen. I didn't think you'd concede a goal. I did say Arsenal would win the game. I said it'd be 1-0 or 2-0. I expected you guys would grind it out as usual. And I do think Sunderland were well deserving of being 1-0 up, but I didn't really I wasn't really too excited when Sunderland went 1-0 up, because I mean, I think you guys were 1-0 down to Newcastle away, and you still won that. So I
Yeah.
expected Arsenal would still find a way to grind it out and win the game. So yeah, and you went 2-1 up in the end, and I thought you guys would see it out. I thought, here we go, Arsenal going to get another couple of points on the board. But fair play to Sunderland, they didn't give up. They carried on going, and they got a point at the end. Surprising, because I didn't expect that to happen. I didn't expect Arsenal to drop points to Sunderland. I thought you were more likely to drop points in your upcoming games than this one. But credit Sunderland. Credit to Sunderland. Yeah. On the balance of things, I don't think this is a great draw for Arsenal because you dropped points here. I think you needed to win this one. I think Arsenal needed the win here because you've got Spurs coming up next. Although I think you'll beat Spurs at home, it's still Spurs. It's always what can happen. I think you've got Chelsea coming up as well, Bayern. So I think Arsenal really needed to win this one to have a little bit of leeway. I think if they drop points against Spurs now, if they drop points against Chelsea, that can really shift title momentum. But yeah, the positive thing, despite maybe not being great, maybe not being great in the first half, being better in the second half, Arsenal still didn't lose. They still did not lose the game. They managed to get away with a point, and it says a lot for me. So it's not the best result, but I think Arsenal will bust it off and come back after the break.
Fair enough, Proffer. I agree with what he says. We didn't play too well. I thought we did play much better in the second half, but at the end of the day, obviously I get your point that when you're playing badly, don't lose. The problem with that game was we were winning until the 94th minute, you know what I mean? So, really disheartening. If you want me to go through individual players, I mean, Raya, he made a magnificent save from Bobby at around 81 minutes. Should have stayed on your line, pal. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully that's his annual CTE moment out of the way, and he can get back to his usual form. On Rambi's comment here, will Arsenal get to a point where they will save you 2 extra points from Sunderland? I don't know what you mean by that. If you mean, can we beat them at home? Of course we can. If you think we're going to regret those points, not any more than we'd regret the point against City or the loss against Liverpool. So, at the end of the day, Rambi, you predicted me correctly. It's too early to call.
These next 4 games are big for Arsenal. City are 4 points behind at the moment, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that could change then if they don't beat it. City play Newcastle away after the break, and I think they play Sunderland at home as well.
They get to play Chelsea, are they?
We play Spurs, then Bayern, and then Chelsea, and then Brentford at home, and then Aston Villa away.
So that's a bit of a difficult.
They got Spurs and then Chelsea. Then next they do 6 points on this.
Do they play Spurs at the Tottenham ground, or is it at?
No, it's at the Emirates. So we should be winning that.
I expect them to beat Tottenham at the Emirates. Chelsea at the Bridge, they might struggle a bit, but.
Oh yeah, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. I don't know if King's here right now, but they haven't beaten us at Stamford Bridge since August 2018. That was Emery's second game in charge, his first away game. Before that, it was in Chelsea's last title-winning season. Now, the last time Chelsea beat us at Stamford Bridge, I was 13 years old. I'm now in my 20s, so it's very long overdue a win against us. Will it happen this season?
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It'll be an interesting game because I think there's been times against Arsenal where we should have beaten them, and I think there was one year where Sanchez just passed it to Declan Rice, and then it ended up a draw. So yeah. So, but in terms of the game, Sunderland and Arsenal, I agree with everything you said. I think it's annoying because it feels like a defeat because of the last minute nature of it. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are blaming Gabriel, but I think Raya was more at fault for the goal. I do agree that
he should never come out of his line, man. He should. But also, sorry, King. Real quick, Arsenal should have defended the line. Arsenal should have defended the edge of the box rather than the 6-yard line. What's the point of dropping deep into the box just to allow Sunderland to be onside when you could have played them all offside at the edge of the box? That's 3 points saved right there for you, man.
Why go to a 5 at the back? That's what I was thinking. When Eze came off from Mosquera, I think we played 5 at the back there. Just you're inviting pressure on Mikel. Come on now.
I agree with
Against who?
King Fan. I think they have
Against
made it
who?
hard for themselves, to be fair, because that was a game you need to win when you got the run coming up that they have.
This is it. This is what I was saying. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good newly promoted teams are playing. If you have ambitions to win the league title, you need to get all 6 points against newly promoted sides.
Against
And Khan. It's funny you should say, do you think we can do better than Raya? I did say to Akavan
it's not.
back in around August, September, if I'm being very harsh, with the scores we have on paper, there is only one place where we can feasibly upgrade, although it is harsh. No, I'm not on the toilet, mate. And that is in the goalkeeping position. Although Raya has been very good for us, and I do understand that is harsh, but he had a really poor moment in the 94th minute there. Really, really poor moment. And that's 2 major points dropped.
Yeah.
As
he has
was
more-
2 major points dropped against City.
I
And
think
at least a point squandered against Liverpool.
Anyways, right. Subscribe to Josh's channel. And big up to Jack and King and then Prophet as well, please, people. Continue. Sorry. Let me cut you off there.
Me or
I
Prophet?
think
Uh,
I'm looking at King Khan's comment here. I think he says that I'm wondering if they win against Chelsea using more drop points. I think if you ask me now, I think Arsenal they'll probably beat Spurs. I'm not sure about the Bayern game. It's in the Champions League, so who knows what happens in that one. But I think they'll beat Spurs and I think they'll draw to Chelsea. And I'm assuming City will win their 2 games. So how much points would that leave City behind Arsenal with? I'm assuming it would be like 2 points or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are must-win games for Arsenal, both of them.
What else can you say? You want to win the title, you have to win every week.
Mm-hmm.
We should be more than 4 points clear. That's one thing I will say. Starting with Reno in midfield instead of Eze against Manchester City at home.
Oh.
I can understand the lineup at Anfield, but why did he start Saliba when he injured his ankle in training? And at the end of the day, we just didn't show any ambition at all. It's no secret that Arteta's scared of Anfield. If you remember the 5-1 defeat back in 2014, where you were 4-0 up inside 20 fucking minutes. Arteta said in the Amazon documentary back in 21-22, I gave up on the pitch. And it's so often, it's not that we give up, but we just retreat defensively.
Yeah. I think
trust the defence. Come on.
I swear Arteta was playing You'll Never Walk Alone in training as well, in the Arsenal
Oh,
documentary.
yeah, before losing 4-0.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I remember that. That was also when he started squaring up to Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
At 0-0. To be fair, Mane, it was being a bit snide, but at the end of the day, that was so embarrassing. It's the same with Xhaka in April 2023. You're riling up the Anfield crowd that only ever goes one way.
Yeah.
Do you not learn anything? Honestly.
But yeah, Anfield's a place that Arsenal struggle at. They do traditionally struggle at. I think they're a team that what is it? The last win at Anfield was 2012 or something like that.
September 2012.
Yeah, Anfield is a place where Arsenal don't get too much joy. They never used to get much joy at Old Trafford either, to be fair, until the last couple of years. So yeah, I do think going forward, that's something you probably need to do better at.
Very Monaco.
Well, it's just more ambition.
Yeah, more ambition.
That's most Arsenal have been proven wrong. By the way, Monaco means Munich in German. That's funny.
Oh, you said that.
You say that with the most straight face.
No, but it's true though. It's like I never even knew this. Like,
I didn't even know that, to be fair.
Munich in German. Oh, okay, man said Italian. Sorry.
Oh, Italian.
Is there enough strikers?
We have enough attackers, but they're all bloody injured. That's what I was saying in terms of substitutions. We had Dalman, Harriman, Anus, and Ethan Wanyeri, whose main position is a midfielder, although he's played on the right a lot. Chucking in Dalman or Harriman and Anus away at Sunderland under the floodlights.
Is that French or what? Is that Italian?
No, I think that's
Spanish. Spanish.
Man's actually pulled out Spanish, crazy. Big up, man.
Big up, man. Big up. Anyways.
Mate, honestly, this is what I was telling you, Akavin. Like, by the end of the international break, we should have Martinelli, Havertz, Madueke, and Odegaard back. I think that's going to be really good for us. Really, really good. So, I mean, Arteta, mate, you've got the squad. We've all said it. We've all discussed it. Don't bottle a 4-point lead, mate. No, Google Translate. I think we know. Anyway.
Give me a couple of minutes. Rob.
Yeah, that's all right, Akvin.
Yeah, sound.
Any more thoughts on the game, lads?
No, I mean, after the break, do you got Kai Havertz has been injured, hasn't he? I just realised Havertz hasn't played much this season so far.
If
do you think
he wasn't injured,
do you think Arsenal have missed Havertz, or?
I feel we've missed Havertz because Arteta loves Havertz so much. I can guarantee you, if Havertz wasn't injured, he would have started at Anfield. He would have started at St James's Park, and he probably would have started at home to City. So it's not as if I feel like we miss him as a team, but I feel Arteta places so much emphasis on Kai Havertz because he's so desperate to prove the £65 million worth that he spent on him, that he's going to be important to our squad, if you know what I mean. He's going to get a lot of extra emphasis placed on him. And I have no doubt he would have started at Anfield. I have no doubt he would have started at St James's Park. And I'm fairly certain he would have started at home to City if he wasn't injured as well.
Yeah. I think, again, Arsenal, the only thing that's going to hold Arsenal back this year is probably going to be Arteta. That's it, Arteta's bravery. So you'd imagine the league will be close when Arsenal take a trip to the Etihad later on down the season. And if that's a must-win game, do you trust Arteta to go there and win that game? Because I wouldn't trust him to go and try and get the win.
I couldn't trust Arteta to walk my dog every minute, mate.
Yeah, so the only thing that's going to hold Arsenal back is the manager. And if they don't win it again because of the manager, I'd imagine that's it. It'll be booted out.
You see the 3 games we've dropped points in already. Liverpool, listen, it was an unambitious lineup. You could understand that it was unambitious. And you could argue to an extent that it works because we started bringing on our attackers after 70 minutes when it was 0-0. Manchester City at home, that was absolutely pathetic. Playing at home to Manchester City with the intent not to lose rather than go for the win. That was disgusting. And I didn't celebrate the Martinelli equaliser. As soon as the full-time whistle went, I turned it off and went for a run to calm myself down. And Sunderland again, only one substitution, changing to a back 5. The momentum was with us when we went 2-1 up, and then we handed the initiative back to them. I don't care how well they play. I don't care if they put us under a bit of pressure. At the end of the day, they're a newly promoted side. If you want to win the league, you have to take all 6 points against newly promoted sides. No excuses in and around there.
100%.
What else do I say?
Who would King Khan says here? Who would Arsenal get in? Conte, Inzaghi. I think there's plenty of top managers that Arsenal could get in. Arsenal, end of the day, they're still a huge club. They can still attract top players and top managers. So I don't think they'd have a problem getting a manager in. We're
still surviving on the Henry juice after about 20 years. So we should still be able to attract quote unquote big names. I mean, in terms of who did you say, Conte or Inzaghi? I would have loved Inzaghi. I wouldn't mind Conte actually, but he's usually a 2-season bomb. I mean, he usually wins the league in his first season, then in the second season it gets a bit tetchy, whether it's with the boards or with their star players. I remember that whole Diego Costa scenario in 2017. Honestly, I don't know, man. Like, listen, at the end of the day, I've wanted him gone. I'm not going to change my stance just because we're 4 points clear in November. If you cannot win anything with this squad that we have, which in my humble opinion is the best squad in the league and one of the best squads in Europe, that's a damning indictment on yourself as a manager. I don't care if it's your first job. Sorry, bit of a voice crack. I don't care if it's your first 6 years in management. At the end of the day, you've spunked 100 million. You've spunked £1 billion on this team. You've moulded it in your image. You've got all the squad depth you could ever ask for. If you can't win anything, piss off. Simple. And I want him gone anyway, but considering he's going to stay this season, not winning anything, crazy work. Crazy work.
100% agreed. 100% agreed. But yeah, I do think Arsenal will blip at some point. I do think they'll have a dip in form at some point in the season, whether that's business end, whether that's Christmas time. it will happen because it happens to everyone. Question is, will City be there to capitalise? And the answer is probably most likely yes. So I think for now, Arsenal just win as much as you can and try and keep the gap over City for as long as you can, because there's every possibility that it won't last. If Arteta doesn't win the league this season, he's bottled it. 7. Yeah, look, I think with Arteta, it's one of those where you're expected to win a major honour now, at least one major honour. I think, I don't know, would the FA Cup be enough to keep him in a job?
Listen, I don't speak for everyone, but me personally, I just want to see Arsenal win trophies. My agenda is for Arsenal to win. My love for Arsenal Football Club far outweighs my dislike for Mikel Arteta as a manager. If we only take home a Carabao Cup this season, I'm still going to be delighted. And listen, that might scream small club mentality. That might scream tin pot. But at the end of the day, it's a trophy to put in the trophy cabinet. We haven't won the Carabao Cup in about 33 years. We've lost finals to the likes of Swindon, Luton, and Birmingham. You know, I'd be happy with that, let alone a Premier League title. But people are more than entitled to disagree. People are more than entitled to call me out for a perceived lack of strong mentality. But listen, man, I just want a trophy. I want something to tell my grandkids about in 50 years' time. Come on now.
100%.
Yeah, cheers, possibly. Thanks.
Random man says, Joshua, how are you endorsing Carabao when you're drinking a Monster?
Good point, Randy. Good point. I don't really know how to answer that, to be honest. But anyway, King, I don't know if you had any thoughts on the title race or anything.
Yeah, I do. I have a couple of thoughts. In regards to the game, I think it's one of those ones that you'll forget, that you'll regret come the end of the season, because I think it's a game that you should have won. Obviously, Raya coming out of his goal, etc. He didn't need to. He didn't need to do that. I think that mistake is probably going to cost you a little bit. You should beat Tottenham. You should beat Tottenham, but it's going to be a difficult game. Thomas Frank usually has the number of Arteta when they come up against each other, so that might be a difference factor. Chelsea Arsenal's going to be difficult because it's coming after the Bayern game, so you're going to use your best team against Bayern. But we got Barca as well, so I don't think that's going to be a big issue. I think Arsenal's biggest problem is that there is the Blue Sharks coming. City are behind them with 4 points, and as long as Haaland is available, I think he can propel that club to the Premier League title, because he can score 30 plus goals a season, and he looks on form, and he looks and even with that penalty miss, he still looks like someone that has a point to prove after a terrible last season for him, for Pep, for the club. And I just think at this point, I think Arteta has no excuses left. He's got his striker, he's got his midfield, he's got one of the best defenses, probably top 2 defense in world football, in regards to the centre back partnership, goalkeeper, or everything combined. He just needs to just stop having a defensive mindset. Sometimes the problem with the Sunderland game, and I think the biggest issue, is that his only sub was an attacker for a defender, when the mentality should be to win the game even more, to score more goals, to win it 3-1 rather than just to keep it 2-1. And I think that mentality is the reason why Arteta won't win a title, because in the Liverpool game, he had that mentality. Against every game, he has the same mentality of, I want to not lose rather than I want to win. And if you have that losing mentality, you're going to drop points in games that you should have won, because he just needs to allow for the attacking players to do what they can do. He doesn't need a defensive mindset, because your defense is good enough not to concede goals regardless. The issue is you don't have enough open play goals, because he doesn't take the foot off the brake. You know, we've seen points this season when Arsenal are playing good football and playing attacking football, that they can destroy a team. You saw it against Atletico Madrid, for an example, in that second half. But he has to do it more often because in order for you to win the league title, it's about the mentality of, I don't care who we're coming up against. We're just going to beat them down. They're going to give us our 3 points and we're going to move on to the next. And I think that's the mentality that he needs to have, but he just doesn't have it for some reason. And I think, I don't know if he's ever going to get that mentality because Pep has that mentality. Slot had that mentality last season. And you've seen it. Anytime a team wins a Premier League, their mentality, they go into the game thinking we're going to win. Even the Leicesters and Blackburns of this world, they went into every game thinking we're going to win. I don't think he thinks that when he goes into a game. He says, I'm just trying to not lose. I'm just trying to, defend. And only making one sub in that game is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. You need to freshen up the team in the 60th, 65th minute, regardless of if you're winning or losing or drawing, because you need to freshen the legs. Because guess what? Those extra minutes are going to be the reason why Saka gets injured again. Why another player gets injured again. It could be not Saka, could be one of your other important. You've got enough attacking injuries as it is. So you need to freshen it up anyway. Nwaneri, Lewis Skelly, both players that could have came on and made an impact. You saw what Nwaneri was doing to Atletico, even from left back, running through the midfield. He could have done that to Sunderland. But the manager's mentality is the reason why Arsenal won't win the title, because they have everything. They have everything in the chamber to win a Premier League. There is no flaw to the squad of Arsenal right now, for me personally, outside of maybe a left winger. Maybe one left winger, and you say that's the perfect squad, and that's probably it. But you put a better manager in that position, Arsenal are top of the table by a long while. This is not a conversation about a title race. It's when are Arsenal going to win it? Because Liverpool haven't looked good. City for parts haven't looked good. Their defense is still questionable at best, even though they're winning games with Chelsea haven't looked inconsistent as hell. Every team apart from you have lost 3+ games. So why is this a question? Because of the manager, because of his mentality. And that's the biggest issue, I think, for Arsenal. Because the players are there, even with the injuries, you still can put out a good squad and bench and still have the position to be able to make some changes with your youngsters. And you have one of the better academies in Hayland. So, even if you have to go through the youth ranks and use a couple of them, even bring a couple more through at this stage when you're dealing with those attacking injuries, go and do it. Look at the under 21s and see who's available to come in and maybe make a little impact, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes here and there. That's what a real manager does, making the tough decisions at the right times. And one sub in a game is disgraceful. Amorim is similar. I said the same thing about Amorim when he made 2 substitutions and it was just for attackers for defense. It just doesn't, mentality-wise, it doesn't make sense to me. And I think that's going to be the reason why Arsenal don't win the title, because everything else is there for me.
I think
it is a mentality thing.
I think we can all agree that on paper, out of all the big teams in the league, I think Arsenal do probably have the best squad. You can make an argument for who has the best starting 11, etc. But in terms of the whole squad, I think Arsenal have got the best squad, so they should definitely use that a lot more.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I think, King, what you say about mentality is absolutely spot on. I find it very concerning that Arteta has been managed and spent time with the likes of Pep Guardiola and Arsene Wenger, and yet David Moyes is the style of football he replicates the most. It had to be David Moyes out of every manager. It's just such a drag. Like you say, we should be more than 4 points clear at the minute. If there's one person that's going to fuck up this title, it is the manager. And I hate to go on about it, but at the end of the day, if we had won the title in 2023 or 2024 and he had proven that he could get over the line, I'd be a lot more confident. 4 points clear going into the last international break of the year. I'd be like, we have got the manager and we've definitely got a better squad in order to win a second one. But at the end of the day, his track record proves that he bottles it in the biggest moments. So, I mean, what else can we say to that? Like, at the end of the day, he's got no accomplishments really to back himself up.
Yeah.
But what prior
And it's gonna
evidence
be
do you
and it's
have?
gonna be draws. And it's gonna be draws. It's gonna be the draws that stop you winning the title as well, not the win, not the
Can't
losses.
wait.
Yeah, because Arsenal don't lose games. They do well not to lose games. They only lose about 1 or 2 a season, but they do draw a lot, which is, draws are, arguably worse than losses.
Now this is it with the draws and narrow defeats. It's all well and good avoiding defeat, but when you're so insistent on playing margins football, when you're so insistent on making the most out of every single opportunity in the game, it's mentally exhausting. When you're playing so much on the margins, you're going to start dropping points. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot keep defending 1 goal leads every single week against Premier League sides or again in any league in general. You have to try and go for the cushion or the 2 goal plus lead. I don't understand why he is so insistent on margins. Before we beat Burnley last weekend, with Rice scoring the 2nd goal, all our away goals so far came from set pieces, came from corners. Old Trafford, Calafiori. Liverpool, he didn't score. Newcastle, wonderful comeback. Both goals came from corners, by the way. In fact, all 3 goals of that game came from corners. Fulham came from a corner. First goal against Burnley came from a corner. At the end of the day, that isn't sustainable. And we were perhaps lucky that we did defend so resolutely as to pick up 9 points out of a possible 12 from that. And like Prophet, only losing 1 because of a free kick. But yet again, free kick from Szoboszlai, 1 in 50 chance of that going in. That classes as a fine margin. If you're not being ambitious enough, you're going to lose points like that. At the end of the day, I mean, where else can you go from there? Why play on the margins? Our squad is a lot better than to play by the margins. Jacques, you're in chat. I tell you every single week, why do we keep playing this margins football? We've got the best squad in the league, in my opinion. We've got the likes of Saka, Eze, Gyökeres, Ødegaard, Madueke, Ødegaard. I think I didn't say already. Declan Rice, Zubimendi. It's at the end of the day, we don't need to play margins football. We're a lot better than that. Obviously, certain weeks it's going to be tough and you're going to have to adapt to the game state. But doing it every single week, it's mentally exhausting. It's physically exhausting. Is it any wonder we keep dropping points come the business end of the season? When we're so incessant, when we're so passionate about going into every game as if it's do or die. Do not concede. Snatch a goal from a corner and take the 3 points and run, no matter who the opposition is. It simply is not sustainable. It simply isn't.
100%. King Khan here says, if you drop points in the next 2 games, City are going to smell. I think City kind of already smell blood in the water a little bit.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Prophet. Exactly what I was going to say. I mean, 4 points clear. That's nothing for Manchester City. We're only in November. Less than 30% of the season has been played. Less than 30% of the season has been played. This is a club under their management, under their ownership, since Pep Guardiola's arrived, that have won 6 Premier League titles, 4 on the bounce, an unprecedented English record. Do you think they're going to be concerned about a 4-point deficit in November? How many times have they come back from these sort of deficits before at this stage of the season? They know what they have to do. They know what they're going to do. It just feels inevitable at this stage. This is why I predicted City to win the league. Like Liverpool in the 70s and 80s, like United in the 90s and 2000s, I believe the 2010s and 2020s are City's time to dominate in English football history. Unfortunately. And I think they're going to add another title to their collection. At the end of the day, that would be title number 11. In terms of major honours, they would have equalled us at least. Not forgetting that there's 3 other competitions for them to play.
Yeah.
They'll be on 11 league titles. There'll be 2 away from Arsenal, and there'll be 9 away from Liverpool and Manchester United.
Yep. Random man here says Tottenham at home, Chelsea at the Bridge. Definitely drop points in one of those 2 matches. City are ready to pounce. Yeah, I think they'll drop points in at least one of those games. I think probably away at the Bridge, they'll probably draw. I think they'll beat Spurs, but either way, even a draw at this point, this early on is no good. Arsenal really need to be winning as much as they can, and they've got to try and hope that City will drop more points so they can extend their margin. But any draw, even a loss, City going to be right there. And I think for me, if City go top, or if City go top by Christmas, I think that's game over because they know how to see it out from there.
Exactly. How often have Manchester City bottled the league from December when they were top? Never. Absolutely never. Ever since Pep Guardiola came in, and to an extent Jurgen Klopp, with these insane points margins, there's no margin for error. There's very, very little margin for error. You need to go out and win every single game. And this manager, as King mentioned earlier, does not have the mentality to do it. And I know it feels like we're going on and on and on, but at the end of the day, this is true. This is 100% true. And it would not surprise me if we quadrupled second place come May 2026. Profit. It would not surprise me at all.
That would make four second place finishes in a row, something like that.
Second,
yeah.
I cannot wait.
When you top up, the potential of no trophy as well with that, that is a big problem. I agree with Vanderman here. It is easier to be the hunter than the hunted, 100%.
110%.
There's definitely more pressure on you if you're at the top and you've got to sustain it.
Exactly.
I think another thing with City at the moment is there's no pressure on City. They're still going under the radar. They've been going under the radar all season. Really, no one's really spoken about them.
God knows why.
Yeah, everyone's spoken about Liverpool for the money we've spent. Everyone's spoken about Arsenal. They've just gone under the radar, and I feel it's working in their benefit. Arsenal are top right now. Pressure's on Arsenal. Everyone's looking at Arsenal. City, they're right behind, but there's no pressure. They can just go about it, stress-free, whereas Arsenal, the pressure could end up getting to them.
Exactly. I mean, Prophet, I 110% agree. I would change the words could to the words will. Like I say, track records are there for a reason. This manager is an absolute bottle job. You know what I mean? It feels like the writing's on the wall already. Like, what was it? Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity is making the same mistakes over and over again. This manager is literally insane. He should be in Broadmoor. He shouldn't be on the touchline at the Emirates. This fella is genuinely insane. He does the same thing season in, season out. Why are you so insistent on margin football? Why are you playing 5 at the back against a newly promoted side? Why are you playing Marino ahead of Eze at home against your title rivals? Like, wow, what are you doing, man? Honestly. Prophet, please help me. I don't know. Doing the same thing over and over again. It honestly feels like smashing your head against the wall over and over again.
Honestly, I really felt last season was going to be Arsenal's year to win the league. I thought, obviously, we'd lost Klopp, we'd bought Slot in, had no idea how that was going to go. A lot of people said, well, myself included, said third place at best, maybe a cup, as long as we get top 4. I think everyone kind of looked at it and thought, okay, we're out of the picture now that Klopp's gone. It'll be City and Arsenal battling for the title. City didn't have a great start. Well, actually, they did have a good start, to be fair. They were pretty, they were top until around November time or something. Then that poor run happened. But I really felt last season was going to be Arsenal's year. And I think for us to win the league last season, with a new manager coming in from the Dutch league who was unproven, again, that should have been writing on the wall as well.
Exactly. It should have been writing on the wall. I mean, you go back to the summer of 2024, there were two teams that people were predicting to win the league: Arsenal and Manchester City. Liverpool weren't mentioned. At the end of the day, full credit to Slot for taking full advantage on the other team's incompetence there. I mean, this manager is just an absolute bottle job. And I don't know how much longer we can keep talking about the same topic, but honestly, it's just maddening.
On that, Joshua, I think we'll move on to the Tottenham United game because otherwise we'll just be.
Yeah. This is our show
about this one. Yeah, so Tottenham United. I was meant to watch this game at halftime, but I woke up late, so I caught the last 20 minutes of it where all the action happened really. But yeah, Tottenham United was an interesting one. United have lost all of their games. Their last 4 games to Tottenham, lost in the
All
final.
in one campaign. Yeah.
All in one campaign as well. Yeah, so I was kind of expecting a Spurs win going into this game, but then I was also kind of expecting United would break their little curse that they have. But yeah, first half of the game, I didn't catch the game, so I did watch the highlights. Though it looked like it was again, it looked like Spurs were way too pragmatic at home, which is an interesting one because Tottenham are known for free flowing attacking football, and yeah, a bit pragmatic, letting United have the ball kind of, and United went 1-0 up, and even though United are 1-0 up, you don't really know can they see it out, etc. Are Spurs going to continue to capitulate? But yeah, I thought for the first 70 minutes of the game, I thought United would see the game out 1-0 because Spurs looked absolutely toothless going forward. They didn't know what they were doing with the ball. I thought United would see it out, but the last 10 minutes, that game went from being a boring watch to a pretty decent watch because there were 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. I think, was it Richarlison who opened the scoreline or something? Deflected goal.
Matthias Tell. I was about to say
a deflection from Richarlison, making it 1-1. And then in added time, was it Mickey van der Ven who scored a header?
No, it was Richarlison's header, wasn't it?
Yeah. Spurs scored again in added time as well. The 90 plus 3rd minute, and I just don't get Spurs. I really don't get Spurs. All they had to do, they had 3 minutes to see that game out, get the 2-1 win over the line, get another win against United, take some pressure off their manager, and they just can't see it out. Yet again, in typical Spurs fashion, they bottled the game. And fair play, United scored last minute. Delit saved the day for United with a set piece header as well. But honestly, Spurs should be really ashamed. They should have seen that game out. And everyone was there. The commentators were all there talking about how it was such a great comeback by United, how they showed such spirit. But really, it's just overglazing in my opinion. Tottenham well and truly should have seen that game over the line.
Yeah. What do you think of the game, King? Spurs United?
I'm not gonna lie, that game was 2 bums fighting. I'm gonna lie to you, they're both terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird because with Thomas Frank, I understand why he has issues with Tottenham because they're missing a lot of players. I think they when it comes to injuries, they're one of the worst. They're missing 2 of their best creators in Kulusevski and Madison. They're missing their best striker in Solanke. So I understand why they're struggling going forward because if you have Richarlison, Tell, Johnson's baby oil and all them man as your attackers, like I understand why you struggle to score. And to be honest, Man United are bum enough club to allow for Tell and Richarlison to be the 2 scorers on Tottenham's side. And then for United, I don't get United. I don't get it because for me, they got the goal, they got the lead early on, and they just tried to just hold it. They didn't really try and do much. I don't know what to say about United because we lost to them with because we got the red card and Sanchez went crazy. But outside of that, I feel like for the most part, United had that good that 3-game win streak, and people were saying, oh, were they going to get the 5? Then they drew last against Forest, and then they drew again. And I just think the last 2 draws shows everything that's good and bad about United. Their attack is decent, but their midfield is inconsistent, and their defense is pretty much not there. And I don't know. There's not really much I can say from this game because for me, I just felt like it's 2 teams. For me, Tottenham are the better team, and they should have won the game. But at the same time, it's Spurs. It's the history of the Tottenham to bottle things. You think
that now that they'd won a trophy, they that bottling gene would go, but it's still very much there.
No, because the Man United team that they beat in that final was terrible. And the thing about it is that Man United haven't changed. They've not drastically got a better club. I just think other teams are worse than them, or they've just got knocked out when it comes to some of their wins. I and also their attacking signings are good. Mbeumo and Cunha have been good for them, especially Mbeumo. Mbeumo has been a big difference maker, and I think they're a better attacking force. I don't know. I think for United, their manager is not good enough. Amorim needs to go. I just think in the long run, I don't see a positive outlook for Man United with Amorim as their coach, especially his affiliation with these Portuguese players, because the Portuguese players are the ones that are some of the worst in Dalot, Fernandes, etc. So, and then for Tottenham, as I said, they've got injuries, so I understand why they can't attack when you've got Tel and Richarlison and things of that nature, and you don't have any creativity, because there is no creators in their team, really. Xavi Simons has been anonymous. They didn't have Kudus even in the game either, so that was another loss. So before the game, they lost Kudus. Xavi Simons has been a terrible signing for them because he's pretty much
shocking.
Yeah, he's pretty much like João Felix for Chelsea. You know, glimpses of good things, but really nothing to it. And then the defense is solid. The defense is really solid, but it's just, as I said, neither one of those teams deserved the win. So I think it was always going to be a draw for that game. Just based on the whole play of the game, I just didn't think none of them deserved the 3 points. I don't think neither of them deserve to be top four, let alone in that position. So
it's a weird one with Spurs because I actually predicted Tottenham to finish in the top 5 this year. I'm not sure if it's top 4 or if it's top 5 now. I think
it could be top 5 if the English teams do well. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, so I predicted them to be in the top 5, but I don't know. I don't feel they can do it. I'll be totally honest. I don't, especially with the way they're playing at the moment. As for United, let's get through some of King Khan's comments here as he's a United fan.
Exactly. I'll start from the same bullshits for us one.
Okay, let me just scroll up. Which one was that, Joshua?
Don't worry, I'll read it. Same bullshit as Forest, up 1 goal in the first half and concede 2 goals and go 2-1 down. Factual statement, mate. Factual statement.
100%.
Lack of mentality, maybe.
Yeah.
Our squad is thin, subs coming on like you guys hate Dalot was shit. I'm glad you and Akovan share the same sentiment on Dalot there.
100%.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is the worst United squad we've ever seen. I mean, last season was probably worse, but it seems to be not so much a continuation. I think we're a lot better.
I think having said that, this is the worst United squad. On paper, obviously we know that they aren't great, but they do have some decent players in there despite being bad. I think Cunha is a decent player, and Guemo looks good as well. So they do have some decent players in there, but yeah, definitely they're the worst. It's definitely the worst in a while.
Yeah, but they just bought those 2 guys, and the thing is, the one thing that I think Man United didn't improve in the summer that they needed to was their midfield. Because I was watching them in preseason with Rasta Stocks. We were doing a watch along, and even though they were beating some of these the scrubby teams in that Premier League like round robin tournament, the glaring issue for Man United is their midfield. Casemiro is old. Bruno Fernandes is Mr. Kick it anywhere he wants at any speed possible, and then you have you garbage off the bench who isn't good enough. I mean, there's a reason why PSG let him go. Like, come on, like they know, like their manager Enrique knows what a baller midfielder is. You see their midfield compared to United, and I think for me, what United needed to do is they needed to get a Baleba, they needed to get an Adam Wharton, they needed to get a Stiller, they needed to get a Baleba type midfielder and a Wharton type midfielder. That's what they need. They need one that can pretty much be the Kante kind of role where you just run around, get the ball back, and recycle it. And then they needed a passer because those are the 2 things that they don't have in their midfield. And also, a lot of the times, because they're playing this 3-back formation, their 2-man midfield gets overrun because they're slow and old. Like Bruno and Casemiro, especially Casemiro, you can't really do multiple 90 minutes in a row. They're lucky they're playing once a week, to be honest, at the moment. Because if they were playing... To be honest, it was a blessing in disguise that they lost the Europa final. Because if they were doing Champions League midweek and then Premier League, they would be even worse. Because they don't have the midfielders and the legs to carry that kind of burden.
Agreed, 100%.
So their midfield needs to be changed, 100%.
I think 100% of the Wharton thing. I mean, I think Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner plays the same formation, probably the same system. Wharton would be perfect, surely, for that Manchester United side. But he didn't sign him in the end.
Yeah. So
Bruno is hopeless at midfield.
Conversation TV, big up yourself as well. He says big up
big
man,
up.
them Fox Spurs all day, every day.
Good
Presumably
man.
he's an Arsenal fan.
He is. He's
Comment
really
here
good.
about Khan says Bruno is
Bruno.
hopeless in midfield. Casemiro doesn't have the legs for him. Honestly, with Casemiro, I don't know what he's still doing at United. He should have binned it and gone to the Saudi League a long time ago. The fact that he's still there is crazy. King Khan says it's the same players for multiple managers bottling it. They will infect any new signing, so they needed to be gotten rid of all in one goal before it's too late. Yeah. No, our midfield is trash. Bruno is not a midfielder. Wing backs also like Delo, Dorgu are trash. They're sabotaging us. Yeah, Delo is definitely a weakling for United. I watched him a couple of times this season. He's not it.
To be fair, on the door. Sorry.
Yeah, you carry on, Joshua. It's fine.
No, sorry. Just on the Dorgu point, I think Diallo is playing a lot of left wing back. He's playing left wing back a lot now, so I think Amarim has identified that Dorgu probably doesn't do exactly what he wants. What I will say is I think Manchester United's wing backs are not good enough to play this system. Mm-hmm. I feel they demand far too much from their fullback positions, from their wing back positions, and no offense to Dallo, no offense to Dorgu, no offense to Diallo, but they simply don't have what it takes to produce the goal contribution stats that they need to do in order for the system 100%. To work to its fullest potential.
100%. King Khan also says here, Remo Cunha, Lamens have been an improvement. With only 3 players out of the entire squad. I agree. Them 3 signings have been good. I think Bremo's look good. Cunha's definitely look good, and the keeper as well. Lemens is definitely an upgrade on Onana. I definitely think he's look good as well. So yeah, I'd agree. But like you said, it's only 3 players out of an entire squad. King Khan also says if we had competent owners, we sell Bruno and get Anderson, Wharton, and a left back. There's rumours that they want to give Maguire and Casemiro extensions.
Oh, hell no.
That's absolutely crazy. When you look at how old
get rid of both of them.
Mad.
Get rid of both of them, man.
I'm not surprised that they're looking to give Maguire an extension, though, to be fair. It looks like Maguire's going to be there for a while. Yeah, I'm not surprised he's going to be getting an extension, but honestly, I think Casemiro needs to just pack it in, head off to the Saudi League. His legs are clearly gone. He's not the same Casemiro that he was at Madrid. So yeah, I don't see why they'd be looking to give him a contract extension.
To be honest, I think it speaks a lot to the state of United's squad that Casemiro is still performing semi well this season, 100%. In my opinion. And yet again, as King said, I think a lot of it is because they aren't in Europe. If they were in Europe, Casemiro would be dead on his feet by about September time. But I mean, I think he's performing decently considering where he's at his current age and what he's given to the club.
Yeah, old slab head, but why can he only play 70 minutes a week? Yeah. But yeah, anything else on Spurs United before
I do. I'm gonna lie, there was a one point during that game that I saw Maguire on the wing. I was like, what's happening? Like this is for me, it's a managerial issue as much as a player issue. I think it's both for United. I feel like they need to update their midfield. They need better wing backs, not just left, on the right side as well. Because for me, Mazraoui would be better as a right centre back than a right wing back. Because I just think he's good defensively, but going forward, you're not going to get anything from him. Dallo needs to be sold. Dorgu needs to be benched. Ahmed Diallo needs to be a 10 rather than playing left wing back. He needs to be like a backup 10, and they need to look to get a couple centre backs as well. They just need to continue what they're doing in terms of getting rid of the crap and bringing in players that are on the level.
100%, yeah. In terms of league, where both teams are in the league, I'm not sure. I think Spurs remain third, so they haven't been great, but it says a lot about the Prem at the moment that Tottenham are third.
They're fifth at the moment. To be honest, there's about 5 teams on 18 points: Tottenham, Villa, United, Liverpool, and Bournemouth. So Premier League, the thing is, the Premier League is so tight right now that you have a couple of bad weeks and you can go all the way down to mid-table. You have a couple good weeks, you can get that 4th, 5th spot. Because 4th, 5th spot I think is going to be there's going to be about 6-7 teams gunning for those 2 spots just because it's so inconsistent with the Premier League. As I said, Arsenal's the only really team to have less than 3 losses. I think
they've only lost
Sunderland
one
have
game.
2, Sunderland 2, and everyone else has 3. Crystal Palace have 2, but they have 5 draws. But Liverpool, United, Villa, us, City, everyone has 3 losses. So it's just it's been a very inconsistent league so far, and that's why I think Arsenal fans are even more frustrated because of how inconsistent these other teams have been, and they only got a 4-point lead when it should be way more.
Yeah, but
It should be.
The thing I take away from this one is United stay above Liverpool in the league, which torture, absolute torture. I'm not sure whether United are. I believe they're 6th or something, probably 1 place below Spurs.
I think they're 6th or 7th.
No, they're 7th. They're above you.
Yeah, they're 1 place above us. So
on goal difference.
On goal difference. Yeah, it's peak. It's a peak at the moment. So
it's bad for Liverpool at the moment. But the thing is, one game week can change it all. That's the thing. That's the reason why 5 teams being on 18 points is crazy. The Premier League is pretending to be the championship right now, man. Trying to be everything close outside of the top and even the bottom is hella close. Like you have a couple good or bad weeks, and I said, yeah, man, your position changes drastically. So consistency 100%. Is the key for this season right now, but not many teams are.
Yeah, I think I don't think the league table started shaping up properly yet either. So I think the next couple of weeks after the break, we'll start to see the table shape up a bit more and see.
I think around January you get a sense of where clubs are going to end up in and thereabouts.
But I think this game was nailed on to be a draw. This Spurs United one, I would have leaned towards Spurs, but I think both teams aren't great at Spurs. I think it was nailed on to be a draw, and it was a draw in the end. But anything else before we move on to the last game?
Well, I just King Khan's last few comments on Jack just popped up with one as well. King Khan says, with back 3 system, you need 2 dynamic midfielders and 2 top wing backs. We don't have a single player out of any of these. Very pessimistic, but I can understand why. Any thoughts on that?
No, that's 100% facts. 100%. That's what they need. The reason why Sporting was so good is because that's what they had. In for that level of that league, their wing backs, their 2, even their 10s were of a level that's why they were so dominant even in Europe against the likes of Man City and stuff. They were able to beat them because they had the players that fit the system. But that's the issue with Amorim though is this: once you get the players for his system, there's not many other systems that they can fit into. So maybe that's why the owners are kind of 50-50 on whether they want to bring these players in, because at the same time, are they looking at getting rid of Amorim? Because for me, I'd be questioning whether Amorim should be the long-term manager for Man United, considering the likes of Glasner and Areola are available for the right price. You look at the Zerbi at Marseille as well. He's another manager that you could look at that's doing well in the French league. So there's a couple managers available out there that you would say that would have the potential to be better than Amorim with the current crop of players that you have. But midfielders and fullbacks in general, I think are United's biggest issue, because they address the attack with Cunha and Buemo, Sesko, and I think Sesko needs to be played more. I'm tired of seeing this false 9 Mount shit. I'm gonna lie to you. Stop that. Play 100%. Sesko. Try and get him confident, because I think if he's confident, he has the build to be a success in the Premier League. But he's just not used enough.
I think on the Amorim situation, I think he should have gone after Spurs.
Which one?
I really think he should have gone after Spurs after the Spurs loss in the final. So
fine.
He's still there. He's crazy, but honestly, I think we all know he will end up getting the sack at some point. I do expect United will have a different manager. I think he'll get this season, but I think maybe halfway through next season they pull the plug on him. So I think they'll be in the market for a new coach soon anyway. But unless anyone wants to add anything else on the Spurs United game, we'll move on to the Chelsea game.
We'll just read the rest of King Khan's comments here. The Prem's weak now. I don't doubt Spurs is third. I mean, to be fair, doesn't that point to a more competitive league?
Mm-hmm.
They're not third. They're fifth. Sunderland are third.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Sunderland
Christ,
being
yeah.
third in
No,
the table at the
Chelsea are
moment.
right.
Oh no, wait, let me look at it again. I think we are. Yeah, no, we are. Sunderland are
Chelsea on
4.
goal difference. Yeah.
No, 20 points. Sunderland on 19 points,
okay.
and then Tottenham are, as I said, Tottenham are the head of the 5 teams that are on 18 because they have a 9-goal difference.
On Thomas Frank as well. I think he's only won one home game in the league so far this season.
Yeah,
That was against Burnley on the opening day.
Yeah, I mean that's shocking. That is. I mean, I see Spurs fans moving a bit weird as well. I mean, I'm now seeing Tottenham fans complaining that Frank's too pragmatic, he's too defensive when they spent all of last season complaining about Ange's tactics, saying he's too open. So they don't know what they want. Spurs fans really don't know what they want. They cried when they had Mourinho and Conte, were too pragmatic. They got what they wanted in Ange, dynamic forward-thinking manager. Didn't work out. They've now got Frank, who I think is a mix of both. I think he can play good attacking football, but he can also be pragmatic. I'd lean more so to him being a pragmatic coach, but yeah, but now that I see them complaining about Frank, so yeah, I think Spurs fans need to work out what they want, really. You can't have it both ways.
I mean, would you rather be 5th or 17th?
Exactly,
Yeah.
100%.
It's a bit of a no-brainer.
They
But
don't
yeah.
have the players to be attacking at the moment as well because of the injuries. As I said, they had no Kudus, no Solanke, no Madison, and no Kulusevski. So those are your four best attackers. That would be your front 4, right? If you were going to play this game fully. So considering they're playing backups, why do you want to go attacking when you like what is
100%.
Richarlison going to become a great goal scorer? Is Tell going to become good all of a sudden? Is Johnson's baby oil? Shout out to X for that one. Is he going to become good? No, your attackers are rubbed out. So obviously, be pragmatic. Just 1-0. That's all you need.
Highlight of
the players.
Highlight of Richarlison's Spurs career will always be that goal he scored at Anfield to make it 3-3 a couple of years ago. Other than that, he's done pretty much nothing.
On that, isn't he the only player to ever score what he thinks is the equaliser or the winner? He scores a goal in the 90th minute. He takes his shirt off, starts crying, and then Spurs still don't go on to win the game.
Yeah,
he's done that bare times. The way he's taking a shot. Every time he takes his shirt off,
celebrate. Diogo Jota comes down and boom, 4-3. He's crying.
Yeah.
So he needs to definitely keep
He needs to stop doing that because he adds extra minutes to added time. That's why they concede.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
His whole celebration was about 3-4 minutes. Saul was lying on the ground starfish style, like he won the World Cup or something. Like the mentality of Tottenham players sometimes, yeah, man, dumb
loser mentality. Jack says here, Premier League's acting like the Zaveta Bundesliga right now. Yeah, Sesko don't fit the system either. That's why he wanted Gyökeres. Fair point. Sesko currently has a knee injury. Okay, Sesko would suit Arsenal's way of playing. What does Joshua think about that one?
Well, it's obvious why Arteta wanted him because he's 6'5". Crosses into the box, lads. I mean, it doesn't take a genius. What was I going to say? Listen, I didn't want Sesko when it was reported in the summer of 2024 that he was scared to compete with Kai Havertz. If you're scared to compete with Kai Havertz for the starting striker spot, stay away from my club. Genuinely. This is why I'm backing Gyökeres so much. I mean, the poor sod, what did he do? He dumped his girlfriend. His dad was in tears. He went to war against his own club. Obviously, I'm going to back him. I'm not going to back the fella that bloody was too scared to compete with Kai Havertz for a starting spot. And to be fair, I think them two are way too similar as well. I mean, I think they're both left-footed, if I'm not mistaken. Although I could be wrong.
Yeah, I believe they are. They are indeed.
Very similar height. I mean, it would be Havertz 2.0.
Yeah. King Khan here says he's big, tall, and physical right up Arteta Street. Honestly, the striker market was insane this summer. I think anyone could have ended up with anyone. I think Arsenal could have ended up with Sesko. United could have ended up with Gyökeres. Liverpool could have ended up with Sesko. I think it was kind of a bit of yo-yo. Anyone could have ended up where. So, yeah. But, yeah, other than that, we'll move on to the Chelsea-Wolves game. So, if King wants to take it away, he's more than welcome to.
Yeah. Great win against the managerless team. To be honest, I'm happy we won because it's one of those games where this season where we would drop points just because we're underestimating the team we played. We did it midweek against Karabag, where going into it we drew against them 2-2 because we underestimated them and treated it like it was gonna be an easy win. So I'm happy that we came out with the win. It's funny that our best player was Garniti. I didn't want him when he came in the summer. I still think he's a waste of money, but he played really well on the left, crossed it in for the first goal.
As is most of your signings.
He's still here.
He's just woken up.
He's just woken up. And then Esteval came on, the star boy, made an instant impact, got himself a half assist. João Pedro scores the second, and then Garniti again, using that pace to Pedro Neto. Do I think we have the worst winger partnership in the top 6 clubs? Yes, we do. Pedro Neto and Garniti. In the future, I want them out my club. I ain't gonna lie to you. They played well for this game, but it's Wolves. That's their standard. Relegation.
I think Garnacho played really well. I thought Garnacho did play really well. One thing I will say, I don't understand why this was the 8 o'clock Sky kickoff and Spurs United
I have
was
no
at
clue.
12:30.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Yeah, I have no clue.
Especially after Arsenal's escapades, I really fancied like a proper good game to take my mind off of it. No. And to be fair, this is the type of game. So.
Is my question to you. Why do you play at 8 p.m. on a Saturday night?
That's 3 weeks in a row now. There's been an 8 o'clock game.
There should never be 8 p.m. game on a Saturday. Should never be an 8 p.m. game on a Saturday. I'll never understand why they do that. I will never ever understand why. Even when during lockdown, I remember I used to watch United Everton. The game happened like 3 a.m. in the morning. That 3-3 classic game. Do you remember that classic 3-3 game?
Yeah, I remember that one at Old Trafford.
Yep. And then the game happened at like 2-3 a.m. in the morning. What do I know? The Premier League has one of the weirdest timings in terms of the weekend football games. They
have it for branding though, because they want that Saturday night football, Monday night football, Friday night football. They want it for the branding.
It's really weird, bro.
It's for the advertisements and everything. Super Sunday. So everything they do is for branding. So anything time wise, it's not for the fans. It's just for the TV,
television.
Yeah, for the money. That's why they do it like that. Because it allows them to have more buzzwords.
Yeah, bro.
Have more buzzwords in when they're talking about the Premier League, and it also allows them to spread the games. Imagine this: like on a weekend, you have a Friday night game, Saturday morning game. You got your couple 3 o'clocks, then you got your Saturday night game, then you got your Super Sunday, and then you got your Monday night game. It allows them to make more money across the weekend through advertisements, through everything that they're doing. So for them, they don't. For the fans, it's disgusting because imagine an 8 o'clock kickoff. If you're a Wolves fan, for example, by the time you have to probably stay in London for the night, or if you're coming from wherever you're coming from, so you're spending extra money just to watch that game. You're probably gonna have to spend the night in a hotel or a friend's house, and then travel the next day because you're not gonna get back to Wolves after that game, especially leaving Stamford Bridge around 9:45, 10 p.m. You're not going to get it to a station in time, most likely. And if you do, you may even miss the train. So it's like they don't take consideration of the fans. Late night kickoffs like that should just be for London derbies or for derbies that are close to each other. Yeah, at least then you can get home afterwards. But for me, I just think the Prem and Sky don't have any respect for their fans in terms of what they're doing, and I still and for me, I don't watch 3 p.m. kickoffs because they should be on TV as well.
Especially Newcastle fans. If they don't care about Newcastle fans, then they're gonna put Newcastle games at like 8 p.m. because if they play at 8 p.m., think of the traveling fans that have to travel all the way down to London and to travel all the way down to the South Coast just to go watch Newcastle United play.
Yeah,
just on a weekend. Think about it.
I think on this game, this is probably the game out of all the big 6 teams that's probably the least exciting to talk about. No offense to Chelsea. Chelsea just did what they did. I think everyone expected Chelsea to win this easily. Wolves had no manager. I think it was an easy game. I think it would have been an easy game even if they had a manager. But yeah,
If Chelsea
Chelsea.
lost against an attackable defense from Maresca.
Yeah,
If they
exactly. Bro.
lost against an
Exactly.
attackable defense.
Exactly.
Sure.
But
It's the
3-0
type of game
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Easy win. I see Wolves are going to appoint Rob Edwards now as their manager. They are cooked. They're definitely going down this year.
Do you know King Khan?
That's that. What was that, bro?
Do you know King Khan? Just funny as well. You talk about unhealthy on players, yeah? La Liga used to play games at 11 p.m. at night. Do you remember that? Back in the day when Ronaldo was still prime for Real Madrid. They used to play La Liga. I remember they had a Clasico at 10 p.m. at night, bro, in Spain or something like that. It's like that's how unhealthy it is playing games so late at night, and then you play like, how do you say it? And then you play it, and the next game was it like early. It's gonna mess your sleep schedule as footballers, so it's not healthy. I 100% get it, man. I 100% understand that.
100% though. But yeah, I think this was an easy win for Chelsea. 3 points that they would have expected to get, and they did get. Yeah, pretty comfortable. Wolves, crap again. Looking more and more likely that they're going to get relegated. Yeah. What's Joshua? What are your thoughts on this one?
Oh no, I just wanted to say it was the type of game you'd expect Chelsea to potentially drop points in, given the nature of the season
Thank
so
you guys
far.
for holding it for me. I had to go.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
I was
3-man step.
Nah, I had to step away from the camera for a bit. I wasn't doing too good.
Oh, fair enough.
Fair enough, brother.
But anyways, what's the next game you guys want to talk about?
That's
Well,
the
we
last
went,
one,
we
but
went
you know,
over Spurs United.
we can get your thoughts on them. We can get your thoughts on the Spurs United game.
I did the whole show on the Red Iron Palace. If you guys want to go look at that, if you guys want to go watch that, please do please do so. I can't lie to you, bro. We threw another 1-goal lead away. Typical. Threw another 1-0 lead away, and then all hell breaks loose. Typical. We can't. For some reason, we just can't seem to hold on to a 1-goal lead. And I don't understand why we come out of the second defensive. You've got the whole back line just falling asleep for the second goal. I don't know why Ugarte was on the line. I don't know what Ugarte is doing. Instead of actually just standing in the wall, he goes into the line, plays Richarlison onside, completely onside. That wipes away the offside now. Richarlison would have been play offside. And yeah, I'm just upset, bro. I'll be honest with you. We could have won this game by a lot.
Yeah, agreed, bro. I think Spurs were there for the taking. I think Tottenham were there for the taking, man. They had loads of injuries. Hardly had a forward line. I think United played it wrong.
3 games in a row, isn't it?
No, 2.
Brighton as well. Well, you conceded twice against Brighton as well, didn't you?
Yeah, true. But I mean, like these were goals from winning positions.
Mm-hmm.
We conceded 2 goals from winning positions, which then eventually led us to falling behind. Us falling behind, and we lost the game.
Give me 30 seconds real quick.
It felt like a loss because of the way we lost it. In the manner we lost it as well, yeah. And the way these guys celebrated the last minute equalizer. Look, I can't lie to you. Sometimes you can celebrate the last minute equalizer, but this, you were leading for majority of the game. I find shame. And then you go and celebrate the last minute equalizer like you just won the league. Relax. Go and get the third goal. You had the ball back to score the third goal. You still bottled that. You know, we threw away the game completely, man. That could have been our first win away at Spurs since 2021. And I just sometimes question the mentality of this team. When we go 1-0 up, why are we always sitting back? My question: why are we always sitting back?
Agreed, bro. Agreed, man.
It's so like it's completely like and utterly. How'd you say? It's utterly like shameful, man. Just having to watch the way we sat back, the way we just allowed Spurs to get the ball to create against us. It's a joke, man. It's a complete joke. I'll be honest with you, and like, it's not the worst performance ever, but like, that game was really ours, man. We really had that game in the bag, and then What do I know, man? Typical, man. We can't win with these same bomb players still being here. Ugarte, Dalot losing his games in Forest and on Spurs. Facts, bro. Facts, man. It's them. Always them to the culprits every single time we lose a game.
Justice for Dallo. That movement's still going.
Nah. No justice for some shit battles, Jim. 4 points drop for nothing. We could be joined third. We could be third draw points for City if we didn't lose those two. Exactly, 100% agreed. We could have been second, bro. We could have been second if it wasn't for all those drop points.
Well, second's good now, is it?
Fucking embarrassing, you know what I mean? We'd be right behind you. We'd be right behind you, Josh. Like right behind you.
Trust me, if you were within
taking in their boots.
No, trust me. If it was around April time and you were like 4 points behind us, we'd find a way to fuck it up. So yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't lie to you. That's just my opinion on the United game. I don't know if you guys want anything quickly on the United game before.
You want to give your opinions on the Arsenal game as well, Because I don't think you gave them.
Wait, the Arsenal game. I already said all Arsenal had to do was defend the edge of the box rather than the 6-yard line. Because what's the point of pushing yourself all the way into the box just then to concede? You have the manager. I think he talked about it as well, right? I think defensively, did you make a mistake? I think you made a mistake at the back defensively. I think he said that as well. Did he? I'm not sure if he mentioned that.
Oh, Tessa.
Yeah. Did he set that up, or did he talk about the game? Like did he talk about the defense doing it by themselves, or
I don't think he mentioned anything about that. I feel it's natural when you switch to a 5 at the back, you're going to drop deeper than on the edge of the box, especially when the opposition are progressing through your midfield the way they were as the 90 minutes were ticking.
But like I said, obviously, Arsenal first drop points in how long? Your first drop
since
the City game
since Man City at home. So I can't lie to you. Arsenal showing more intent now than they did the last 2 times they won the league. Obviously, the last 2 times you won the league, you drop points to teams that, I would say, yeah. I mean, you drop points to certain teams like Everton early on in the season as well. This time around, you're kind of maturing more in his title race, like you should be, and you should have been doing for some time. But then again, it comes down to November, December. Like if you can get through the December fixtures, if you can stay top by Christmas, and obviously January, February, that's when the run starts.
This is it. Our problems aren't against the big clubs. Well, the big 6 clubs, so to speak. Our problems are against the likes of your Evertons, your Burnleys, your Fulhams, especially your Aston Villas, your Newcastles away. You know what I mean? So, although then again, this season it seems to be a role reversal against our 2 title challenges. We've dropped points entirely of our own accord, and now we've done it against Sunderland as well. But listen, we've spoken in depth about that. So
you need to clear that, man. All you need to do is just push higher up. Don't defend so deep in the box. You didn't need to do that. All you had to do is just defend the 6-yard line. Defend the edge of the box. Don't defend the 6-yard line, because then that allows Sunderland to be offside, and then you wouldn't have to rely on your defense playing them onside and playing them whatnot. So yeah, 3 points was yours, but you just couldn't finish the game. That's Arsenal for me. I would say Arsenal poor in terms of creating chances. They just didn't create enough.
Well, not in the first half. No.
Excuse me. They created enough. They just couldn't score. My bad on that one. They created, but they couldn't score. That's literally it. They had that chance at the end of the game where they could have won the game, but obviously that block by Ballard saved Sunderland the game, and that's where Sunderland, are gonna potentially that they could be challenging for European places, but we shall see.
Yeah, well, You want to give your thoughts on the Chelsea game as well, bro? I think that's
No,
it.
I didn't watch the game, so
Did you not watch the Chelsea one, bro?
No. I was watching.
Okay.
I think I don't remember what I was watching. Oh yeah, it was Formula One. I think that was qualifying, so I don't think I watched that. And then I watched another, so I couldn't.
Fair enough.
I couldn't watch the Chelsea game. No. So, but King, you've given your thoughts on that one already. Yes. So, I think we'll close out here, people. Unless you guys want anything more on the other game.
Fuck Semenyo. As soon as he's come into my FPL, he's been shit. Missed a penalty
Same.
in their 4-0 defeat to Villa.
Thank you so much for calling it out. Holy crap. Yeah, thank you so much for calling it out. Thank you so much, for real. That's just been a complete... Yeah, Semenyo points has been absolute... It's been
0
absolute...
points this week.
I didn't expect Bournemouth to get cooked like that. the
We
way
shall
they
see
did.
if you win. We shall see if you win the league or not. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
You-
Newcastle are shit as well so far.
Hmm.
Has anyone else clocked this?
I
They
think
lost
they're
the
a
game
couple
away
of.
from
I think they're like 5 points above relegation at the moment. So
didn't I
Man
mention
City.
last year?
No.
I think
Less than that. They are 2 points
said-
away from relegation.
oh my
I
god,
said
yeah,
3-1 Newcastle, didn't I? So I said 3-1 Brentford, didn't I?
yeah. I think you predicted a Brentford win.
I just
Yeah,
think
but-
Brentford at home they've just been a lot better than on the road. And obviously Newcastle, just been so inconsistent this season, haven't they? Newcastle, they've really been inconsistent. Like they don't since they sold Isak, they've never ever found the guy to replace. Well, okay, Walter Mata is there, he's scoring, but he's not scoring enough. You know, you don't have a consistent guy scoring goals like Isak did. And the Newcastle struggled with team chemistry, in my opinion. I just don't think they're a team. Like Newcastle just don't know what to do. And I raised this question a couple weeks ago, and you guys told me it wasn't really a question that you guys wanted to really give. Oh, I don't say give proper thoughts on. I just think it wasn't as serious at the time. But now that they've lost again, I'm gonna raise the question one more time. Is this a stackable offense for Eddie Howe? Being behind Sunderland after they've not been in the Premier League for almost a decade, and you've had a financial takeover, but you're now behind Sunderland in the league table.
Well, like of it is only November. I don't think Newcastle. I don't think the board are too concerned about where they are in comparison to Sunderland. I think they're more concerned with being 4 points off relegation. Is it
2
Kingsley?
points. 2 points.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
They're on 12 points, and the team on in the bottom of relegation is on 10. West Ham and Burnley on 10. Fulham Leeds on 11. They're on 12. They've lost 5 games. They've won 3, drawn 3, lost 5. Minus 3 goal
They're
difference.
7 points behind.
I'd get rid of him. I'd get rid of him during the international break
Bro,
and bring in a proper manager.
sorry to cut in. Sunderland are on 19 points in the top 4. Newcastle are on 12 points in 14th, with the same amount of games played. That is mental.
That's mental.
Who would have thought Sunderland would come up and be above Newcastle in the table, and to be kind of dominant as well? Whenever that next time where Derby is, I'm excited.
That would be an interesting watch for sure.
I'm gonna be really excited. I mean, man, that's gonna be the most interesting one. 100%. It's gonna be the most interesting one for sure, because obviously, like Sunderland, this is the first one back. Sunderland back in the Prem after a long time. Newcastle with the takeover and everything, winning games. But now that they're behind Sunderland in the league standings, it's gonna be completely different. Yeah, exactly. African King Academy, first appearance on the Premier League show.
No,
Subscribe.
regular.
And apologies if I had to go for a bit. I wasn't in the right frame of mind, so I had to hop off the camera. But I'm back, and I've given my thoughts on the games. Unless you guys have given your thoughts on other games you haven't done already. There's obviously Brighton 0.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about Arsenal, so I thought it's best we just push it along. So kind of just led us into the other
We
games.
did everything. I do want to add one more thing about Newcastle, though.
Yeah, go on, please.
Their next 3 games are City, Everton, and Spurs. They could lose those next 3 games, and if they do, I think even after international break, if they lose their next 3. I think his job is going to be unobtainable if they lose the next 3, because I feel like teams like West Ham, Forest, and stuff like that will pick up points, and you may see Newcastle in the relegation zone sooner rather than later. And if that does happen, they will have no choice but to let him go.
They're waiting for the Carabao Cup result, and they're waiting for the the Champions League. What Newcastle do in the Champions League? Are they gonna be consistent enough to be?
I think they go out early in that.
Because don't forget, Newcastle can still qualify for top 16 in the Champions League phase. They're still waiting on that, but regardless, like to be behind Sunderland and where you are, where you
they're good in Champions League. They're 6th with 9 points.
Yeah, they're not bad. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying. That's what I think they're trying.
But that's the only saving grace for him. In the Premier League form is not good enough for him to be there for the long term.
That's the only thing that's literally saving him from his job right now is the Champions League form. Other than that, he's just done. I think he's gone, man. I'll be honest with you. Nick
I agree with Van der Man. I don't think Nick Pope's that good. I think Pickford might not be a great keeper, but I do think he's England's best goalkeeper when you look at who they've got.
That's overrated, isn't he?
Oh yeah, but it's like bums fighting when it comes to England goalkeeper at the moment. James Trafford could have been the best, but he decided to go to Man City to be on the bench.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about James Trafford in the last few weeks, man. Ever since he's been dropped for Donnarumma, you've not heard of him. You kind of feel bad for him in that sense, man, because he had everything. He had everything. He was starting games, and Donnarumma rocked up, and then he's no longer sniffing a sting. He's no longer getting a sniff of the first few minutes no more.
He's an absolute stinker against Spurs, to be fair.
He's been dropped, bro.
Yeah. He should have never gone City, to be honest. He should have never gone City. They did him dirty.
Henderson, Pickford, Ramsdale, Pope should be a hierarchy.
I think I'd put Pickford over Henderson.
That's a good. United's games until January is kind of
United have got a good run, to be fair. I'm looking at it now. I sort of comment.
We already played every single big side as well.
You've got Everton, Palace, West Ham, Wolves, Bournemouth, Villa, Newcastle. That's it. You're not playing a big side now up until January. You play City at home.
Well,
they could easily lose the next 3 though, because Everton, Palace, and West Ham are difficult fixtures.
Old Trafford. Only thing I trust is our Trafford form. Our Old Trafford form. Everton at home. I expect to win that one. The one against
Grealish season.
Palace away.
Palace. We'll lose that one. I think we lose to Palace away. Our record at Selhurst Park over the years has been awful. So I think we'll lose that one. I'll be honest.
And you got West Ham at home.
I think we'll win that one.
Yeah.
The home games I'm more confident of, because like I said, the home games we do well. It's the away games that we struggle in.
I think you lose all 3. I'm gonna lie to you.
I think Wolves away could be a tough game for United. I can't lie. I think they can make that. I think they could make that.
You're taking a piss.
I'm serious. Away. Didn't Wolves beat them? I swear Wolves beat them last year at the one in, didn't they? When they were the league or something.
We stole their best player now, to be fair.
Yeah.
Did he score an Olympico that game?
No, 0-0 last year. 0-0 last year. Sorry, say that again?
Is this Wolves we're talking about?
Yeah, Wolves. Yeah, Wolves.
No, they beat you 2-0, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, on that Ramsdale comment, Pickford has never let England down as goalkeeper, and
he's solid for England.
He was so close to being a legend, especially with that Jorginho save. So,
don't worry.
Our best keeper since Gordon Banks. When you look at his record in international tournaments.
I'm more confident of United now than I was at the start of the season. I'll be honest with you. We definitely improved, but we've got to fucking pick up consistency. That's the only thing I need to. That's the only thing I need now. Consistency, because results have improved, but it's consistency that we need to pick up. So I feel better about it now.
It's better than being 15th place, isn't it?
Sure, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Amram threw away the Premier League last season. I'll be honest with you. I think he completely threw it away, because last season I could completely see we only had our eyes on the Europa League. We never had our eye on the top 4 or top 6, whatever it was, because we were 4 points off top 4 when he took over the job last year. But then he said, you know what, I'm gonna throw this away. I've got Europa League on my side. We made the final, but all that didn't go to plan. So I think, in my opinion, he threw away the Premier League season last year. In my opinion, I don't think he took it seriously. And I know it's excuses coming from me, but at the same time, I don't make excuses for Man United. You know me, guys. I always keep it real every single time United drop points or United go on a bad run. I'm always there. I'm always the first one to speak on it. So it's poor, but at the same time, we can't allow it to happen the way we did. But obviously the rest of the results in the league, there was Tottenham 2, Man United 2, Everton 2, Fulham 0, West Ham 3, Burnley 2. West Ham back-to-back wins, by the way. Back-to-back wins for West Ham, by the way.
Back-to-back wins for West Ham. That's
Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2, Chelsea 3, Wolves 0, Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 3, Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0, Forest 3, Leeds 1, and last but not least, City 3, Liverpool 0. International break is here.
I think West Ham and Forest have started to pick up some wins now, and I think that just reiterates why I think Wolves are pretty much gone. Because
right here. Yeah. Sorry, bro. Go on.
Yeah, I think that just reiterates why I think Wolves are going to get relegated. You see, West Ham are picking up now. Forest got a big win, so looks like Wolves are pretty much down and out, like I've said. I think Leeds could have gone now, I'll be totally honest, after losing to Forest. I think there's every possibility Leeds could end up getting relegated.
I hope Scum get relegated, but listen, all hope. But
I think they will. I think Leeds and Burnley go down.
I think Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley.
I hope so.
Because of the managers that West Ham and Forest have now, they have good managers that play good football.
We Spurs can get drawn when we lost before because of Europa. Ten Hag left us in 14th anyway. Yep, that is true. But we were 4 points off top 4 at the time, so Wolves will break Derby's 2005-2006 record of least points in a single. We said that last season about Southampton.
We say that every year about a team that starts off like shit, and then they always end up breaking the 11-point mark. You know,
Burnley going down.
I mean, they're on track to it though. If this pace,
Burnley I just don't think Burnley have got quality to say. There's no one in their team I look at and think, yeah, they can carry them to victory. To not get
Sarabia's gonna leave.
Sarabia's there. I think with Wolves though, last year they had Cunha. Cunha was pretty much the reason they stayed up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think Burnley have been okay, but I expect them to come up soon.
Ja Gomez, one.
Yeah.
Oh, for Wolves, yeah. Strand Larson will go to a mid-table team and bang. He's a good striker.
Yeah, he was a decent FPL player at the time. I remember in FPL, I had him in my team. I think he was scoring goals even on my bench. But anyways, let's move on to FPL, Josh. How did you do this weekend?
Oh, mate, nah. FPL's completely gone down the drain. I'm only 2 points better off than the average. Dean Henderson, is it Dean Henderson? Yeah, he got 9 points on my bench. Twanzebe got 3. Mark Gugu got 1. Ian Matson got 0. Nick Pope, this is in the starting 11. Nick Pope got me 3 points. Gabriel got me 1 point alongside Timber. Cucurella got me 6 points. Then Buemo got me 7 points. Semenyo got me 0 points. Grealish got me 3 points, as did Sarr and Granit Xhaka. Haaland's captain with 8 points for his goal. The penalty miss was a bit of a bummer, but anyway, Walter Marde with 5 points as well because I think he picked up an assist. 40 points overall, absolute shambles. Big up, Godfrey.
Johnson is going to stick around as well.
It's going to be a mass exodus at Wolves after they get relegated.
Have they really got any? Have they even got anyone worthy of note at the moment over there? Well, they had Cunha who left, but I'm looking down the years. They've sold everyone. They sold Neto.
They sold the players that they created, bro. They obviously rest in peace. Diogo Jota, Pedro Neto, They
Ruben
sold
Neves,
Neves as well. They sold
Ruben
Ruben
Neves.
Neves.
They
João
sold
Moutinho.
Rio
Matin, yeah.
Rui Patricio. They sold so many good players, man, from Portugal. And
Surely Jose Sar's going as well.
sorry,
Jose Sar? Surely he's leaving as
He's
well.
still there. I think he'll leave. He'll
still
probably
there?
be
Yeah,
in
he's
when
still there.
the bus out as well when they get relegated.
He's still there. Yeah, Larson will probably leave. Sharon Larson will probably leave. Nick Pope got me
I
3
think
points.
honestly, I think if Wolves aren't careful, they could end up in League One. Seriously.
No, I won't think they'll end up in League One. No. But at the same time, I don't think they will be good enough to come back up straight away.
No, I think it'll be what's happened with Leicester. I reckon. I think they'll just
project all over again.
yeah.
So it needs to restart the project all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And also, don't forget that manager Nuno also left at the same time, so it kind of started the downfall as well. Because Nuno was doing very, very well for them.
Mm-hmm.
Bolt got me 3, Gabriel and Timber 1 each. Munoz got me 6, Semenyo got me 0. Terrible by Semenyo, missed the penalty as well. Minte got 3, Sarr got me 3, Saka 12, Holland 8, Watermatter 5, Mateta 2. About time Watermatter did something, he got an assist, but that's literally about it. Other than that, yeah, they've just been completely like.
How many points did you end up with?
45, I think.
Yeah, Jamie. 5 points better off than me still.
44. Sorry, 44.
4 points. If only I had Dean Henderson on the pitch instead of
Terrible
Nick Pope.
week. Terrible week for me, mate. Not good enough.
You're still top of the league, aren't you?
Yeah, but knowing how I started, it should be much better than this because
Sounds like a certain club, doesn't it?
I was cruising at the start and then I just completely tailed off now. Cunha, Nuri, Semedo, Dawson, Jose Sal probably had to Ibar where Messi comes from. You can never escape Ibar. These players weren't replaced properly. I 100% agree with that. Rob Edwards said he was fully convinced of Borough looked like a promoted side. Now it goes to Wolves. Tell him, Burnbeer. Tell him, bro. But anyways, apologies about earlier, but we're gonna
worries, man.
appreciate you guys holding the fort for a bit and while I was away. But obviously, shout out your channel, Prophet and King. King, I think we can go live in about 2 hours for the Premier League, for the NBA show if you want to, in a couple hours for it. Or if you want, we can move. I think in a couple hours will be good, isn't it?
Either that or move in the morning.
Or if you like, you're good with 11. How about 3 a.m. UK? Are you okay with that, or are you gonna head to sleep 3 a.m. UK?
No, I'll be watching the NFL during that. Eagles.
Oh yeah, true. Okay, in a couple hours will be okay. Couple hours.
I'll let you know.
Cool. I'm gonna move the NBA show just a bit. People are gonna push it back a little bit. But big up to Prophet and King. Shout out your channels and let them know where they can find you. And yeah, see you guys.
Yeah, so obviously the channel name is the Liverpool Prophet. Obviously international break now, so I'm just going to be focusing on bringing out transfer related videos, etc. So yeah, that's all I can really do during the break until the football's back on.
King.
Oh yeah, African King Academy. I'll be doing watch-alongs during the week at some point for the Women's Champions League, and then for some international football. And then I've got my show with Rasta on Tuesday and on I think Wednesday or Thursday, one of those days. I think Liverpool Prophet would be in one of those shows if he's available.
Yeah, we'll do 100%. Yeah,
and others are normally there, Vigilante and stuff like that. And then any rugby coming along, I'll probably be on Vigilante's channel for the rugby. And then any NBA, NFL, I'll be there for that. I might do the NFL tonight. I don't know how I feel, or I just might just watch it on my own time. Depends on how I feel after the NBA show.
Yeah, 8 subscribers to 500, guys. Hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to AIN Sports. 500 subscribers is pending. People, is pending. 8 subs to go, guys. Come on.
Subscribe to the channel, guys.
We can't keep getting any closer, but still so far. Let's get there, people. Someday, somehow, we will get there soon. And appreciate Josh as always, bro.
No worries, mate.
So, and King and Prophet. Jack will be back next show, guys. Which will be after the international break. This week, stay tuned for Beyond the Ball. Me and Josh will be having the Beyond the Ball show. It is back during the international break, so stay tuned to that. The game show, the NFL shows, NBA shows, also the same. Also the same. Like Arsenal to the Premier League title.
All right, sit in 8th place and don't speak.
So
Sorry,
close,
Prophet.
yes. You're not wrong. But anyways, guys, it's been us for today, Premier League show. Take care. We're out. Enjoy.
Amarin.
the rest of the week.
Amarin in.
Enjoy the rest of the week.
Glazers in your sin. Revival mode.
Chelsea in the mud.